in the update. Sweet.
Awesome. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets, everyone. I'm Ethan Van Sciver, and these are my friends.
Facts.
It's Ben Henderson. It's Umbrella Guy. It's Nasser. It's Antonio Bryce of Akari Press. Benjamin Henderson of Cautionary Comics. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling kind of queasy because I got to eat a whole pie.
You can do this.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna eat the pie while we talk about things. I went out. I'm being reasonable. The people said it can't be a mini pie. I said it won't be a mini pie, but it can't be like a full size like family pie. Like this, I might be able to do. But I mean, I will eat a whole pie over the course of a day. I've never been able to eat a whole pie in one sitting before. That's not something I do. That's not something I believe in.
Too much sugar at once.
Oh yeah, that's big.
Too much sugar. I'm not really worried about the sugar. I'm just worried about the content of the. I mean, I've been pretty good on my diet, but I did. I said, what do people want me to do when we get to $80,000 for CYBERFROG, which we did, guys. I mean, we're at $80,000 for CYBERFROG and change right now, which is pretty impressive. $80,616 for the third printing of CYBERFROG. Somebody defunded. So. Well, I still have to eat the pie. Could $600 please disappear from this and never come back, and then I won't have to eat the pie? No, got to eat the pie. $80,581 raised for the CYBERFROG team up cover. It's phenomenal. Thank you guys so much for the support. And I said, what should we do when we get there? And everybody said eat a pie. So I'm going to do that. And in the meantime, we're also going to talk about what's going on with Dean Cain. Now, guys, we've all been through SJW swarms. I think everybody in here has.
Yep.
They're no fun. They're no fun. Ethan Van Piver, they're saying in the chat, EVS mini pie, that's a family pie. EVS 5XL shirt won't fit after this one. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, it could have been a pizza. I can't eat a whole pizza either, though. I can eat like
I could.
Slices. You can eat a whole pizza?
Yep, I've done it many times.
Have you guys eaten a whole pizza before?
I have, yeah.
No. Yeah. I don't know. Thin crust, I can. If it's thin crust, I can run through it. But if it's full crust, no, I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do it either. I really can't. All right, let me open this pie up and let me take a look at this thing. Now, I have told you guys many times that I eat pies with my bare hands, and that is something like I have a pie, I have a knife, okay. So what I'm going to do is cut the pie, and I'm going to show you how it's done. This is how to eat a pie the right way. I'm gonna cut one slice, and we'll begin this.
That's so hot.
This crisis.
Yes.
Now it's gonna fall apart. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. It's like a pizza. You know.
True.
Man, I'm losing my. Oh,
And that's how you do it.
Now you're getting me hungry for pie.
I know.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Eat it.
It's not like this is a good pie. It's a Walmart pie. You know, people are like, "Why don't you go to a bakery and get a good pie?" I'm like, like, why would it? I don't want to be into good pies right now. I don't want to. So again,
what is going to be your celebration pie the day you get CYBERFROG in your hand? The first warm copy.
I don't want any pie.
No celebration pie.
No, Dark Popcat goes. I would rather have a spine on this print than me eating a pie. See, why wouldn't you say that ordinarily? Why didn't you say that before I began? I wouldn't have had to eat this pie. All right, so here's the problem. We got big stuff going on online right now. Dean Cain, who used to play Superman, okay? I'm going to show you this, is in trouble with the SJWs. Now, here's why. Oh, this is great. Okay, I got to show you this clip. I'm going to turn the volume down. It doesn't matter. You don't need the volume for this. All you need to know is it's chaos, okay? So a couple days ago, was it yesterday or was it a couple days ago in New Zealand? What was
Two
it?
days
2 days
ago, I
ago.
think.
Yeah, 2 days.
Was it 2 days ago now? So 2 days ago in New Zealand, there was a horrible tragedy where an extreme lunatic, far right wing mother effer. Should I say that? Mother effer. Went into a mosque, guns blazing, I guess. I didn't watch the video. People told me there's a video, and I should not watch it. Okay.
There's a couple clips I thought that have been circulating. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to see any of it. I don't need that in my heart, you know?
Yep.
I need pizza and
I
cholesterol.
don't watch it either. I don't watch it either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I watch it, but I actually haven't seen that clip yet.
You don't need to, trust me.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything like that. When stuff like that exists, I don't watch it. I made the mistake of I don't know what it was, but it was a bunch of armed, like a SWAT team going into a hotel in Vegas, I think, and it might have been during the Vegas shooting. But there was a kid in the hallway.
Yeah.
Did you see this? And they're like, "Get down on your belly," and he wouldn't get down, like I guess, and they just killed him.
His pants, he couldn't pull up his pants. What it was is he was trying to crawl down the hallway. His pants kept slipping, and he reached to pull his pants up, and yeah, he was an exterminator who had a BB gun in his room there.
God. Was that during the Vegas shooting? Sorry, you're gonna catch me eating while I'm trying to talk.
It was right after all of that stuff had taken place. It was an awful situation. You can look at it and tell, obviously this stuff. People get on high alert and terrible things happen. And terrible things, they happen to innocent people. They happen to innocent people when a guy goes in and shoots up a mosque. They happen to innocent people when a police officer, decides that a guy is guilty in a hallway like that. It's a terrible situation. And we see it all.
You've got, this is the problem. We talk about swatting and why that's evil and why it's attempted murder. That is why. That is why, because these people, they have guns drawn, and you need to behave yourself. You need to do exactly what they say, because somebody's gonna their finger's gonna slip, and they're gonna pull that trigger if they feel the slightest bit nervous. And I watched that video. That made me sick to my stomach. To watch somebody's life snuffed out like that over something stupid, horrible, absolutely horrible. So when a cop does that, obviously, don't move. Follow his instructions to the letter, and try not to alarm anyone. But in any case, this right here is a stupid situation. This politician here, he's a New Zealand senator. I can't remember his name right now. But he basically came out and he's going to take this extreme kind of right-wing position where he's like, look, ordinarily it's the Muslims that are the perpetrators and not the victims. And, look, this time they were the victims, and, we let him in the country, and this is what happens, I guess. So, all right. What an asshole, essentially. I hope we all agree on that. I don't like that idea at all. It's not a group of people who are the perpetrators or the victims of anything. That is SJW speak, when you kind of group everybody up into identities, into columns, into groups like that, based on things like religion, skin color, sexual preference, gender. I don't think Muslims, and I say Muslims and you guys make fun of me, and I got that from Barack Hussein Obama. In any case, I don't think that they are guilty or innocent or anything like that. They're just a lot of individuals who have one thing in common. So this is stupid. What he said. So this kid who looks like the lead singer of the Thompson Twins, you'll see his hair here. My hair looked a little bit like this in the 1990s.
Hold me now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what he looks like. And he creeps up. He's got his phone. He's ready to capture this for posterity. And he's 17 years old. And let's watch this go down here. And I'm going to, we'll, do you want to look at the pie? Okay, hold on a second. Stop sharing. All right, so this is the pie. Can you guys see it?
Oh, yeah.
The camera's working? Okay. Yeah, I took one slice. One slice is done. It's gone. It's completely consumed. Okay, so, all right. Let me see. My camera setup is not the best, guys. You should understand that right away. Let me put the share back on. People are concerned about this pie. You know, I promised them in the title of this chat that there would be a pie being eaten, and there is. And still, I'm talking while I'm eating a pie. So it's very substantial. Okay, present to everyone. All right, good. Can you guys see? Oh, did I lose it?
Yeah.
Man.
Oh no.
You can back
Where's it in
up.
that other Twitter tab you have up top?
Oh, this is no, but okay. That's him getting called names. Okay, so that's important. We'll get to that, but we need to see the actual thing where he is he's being persecuted here. Oh, why he's being persecuted. Sorry, guys. I won't do that again. We'll get through this. You guys have to trust me. I am eating this pie. Now I have a taste for pie. I spent 3 months getting rid of it. Now it's back. Okay, so here we have the 17-year-old. Boom. Now hold on. Let me back up. This is like frame 313 right there of the Zapruder film. Okay. Back it up one more time.
Back into the left.
Back into the left. I want to see this. Look at that. Boom. Right there. That's what it is. That's frame 313 of the Zapruder film. You just see egg yolk going everywhere. You see this woman. She's not fully aware of what's just happened. You know, the atrocity that's just been committed by this kid. Look at this kid with his floppy hair. It's like it's 1990 right here. Throwing an egg at this dude's head. Okay, so we go forward. Let's see what happens from here. Whoa. Okay, now the guy notices. He's like, you hit me in the head with an egg. And keep your camera rolling, okay? Now, here you go. Look at this. This is what happens when you smash an egg on the head of a full-grown man. All right, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Boom. Parker Lewis can lose.
But it was just an open hand smack. He smacked the
Well,
boy in the mouth.
Look at that. Look at that older lady there. Look at her face. She's like, ooh.
Alarm, shock and alarm. Look at this. She's got her hand raised. People are saying, just play it. I will. We're going to play it a bunch of times. This is like the Zapruder film. We're
I
going
would
to
have broke that kid's nose.
Right.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, there wouldn't be
okay.
no open hand. That's for
Don't
sure.
say that. That's what Dean Cain said. And
Yeah.
you're going to see the consequences of that, okay? This is a senator. This should not have happened to a senator. I mean, there should have been Secret Service or the equivalent thereof. But we're in New Zealand, and I don't know exactly what the protocol is. But again, let's watch this kid. Now, he's still standing. He got smacked once. I would love to see the footage. That's got to look like a guerrilla attack, like his footage. All right, from his point of view. Okay, here it comes. Ready? Boom, number 2.
Yeah, that was a
Number 2. So let's go back and just see it's a full effect here. Boom. They tried to get him, wrestled to the ground, and hold me now. Whoa, warm my heart.
he was restrained. Both of those were open-handed.
Yeah. I mean, look, he's a little kid, but you don't know what he's got. People are like, he's just 17. He's just a little kid. You don't know that if he's got a weapon or anything like that. I mean, these days, after what just happened, you know, that kind of thing goes down. And the Secret Service, if anything, is too slow. So let's see it again. Boom. Response. And one more time. Now, the senator trips as he, okay.
I love that he's holding his phone up while he does it so he can make sure he has the footage.
That's right. This is all about uploading it to YouTube. The senator's name is Fraser Anning. So it's pretty astonishing. People are pointing out that the senator did take a minute. You know, you watch this footage again, and you see that he took a minute to recognize what had happened to him, and then who it was that did it, and that he made a decision to smack the kid. Honestly, the right thing to do. He did the exact right thing.
Yeah.
Look,
somebody decides to step to you, and you're not supposed to do anything. I like that. I like our new current year society. Beautiful.
Tug, you're going to see SJWs who are attacking Dean Cain, and they're saying things like, you know, if it were another Superman, if it were, who's the current Superman?
Henry Cavill.
Yeah. If it were Henry Cavill, he would have just given him another egg. Like Jesus Christ. I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure about that. So we've seen the footage again. I mean, this kid is being congratulated and lauded everywhere. I mean, the problem with this is that this guy here, you know, you can see big, you know, kind of white guy here who's coming out and saying, hey, maybe the Muslims had it coming in a way. So, I mean, it's like, it's not like this guy doesn't deserve criticism, but it's the arrogance of somebody walking up and deciding that they could throw an egg at him. That is SJWs. SJWs believe that they can disagree with you physically. And that's something that we need to, that's a notion that we need to disabuse them of. You can disagree all you want. You can disagree with your words, but these guys want you to punch people. These guys want you to throw eggs, throw pies. If you're going to throw a pie at me, just let me know in advance.
Well, one of my favorite exposures of that, you know, when Hambley was actually attacked, I remember, God, what was that? Comic Crusaders. They put out an article, you know, that they got a lot of flack for, but they showcased how these people believe. They said, you know, let me find that quote real quick. It's it's interesting. They said, here's the sentence on this is how these people feel. They decided to put this in print, by the way. They said, I do not condone violence in most situations. I feel as though our words should be powerful enough to convey our messages and invoke change. But sometimes this is not the case. Sometimes our words, voting with our wallets, and refusal to entertain the rhetoric we disagree with falls upon deaf ears. And if that rhetoric is dangerous to others, well, I won't be losing any sleep over the fact that a fist made the point a bit more clear. So yeah, that's these folks. They don't mind hitting you or worse. You know, if they're willing to advocate for punching you in the open, what do they advocate behind the scenes? I mean, how far will these people go?
Scum of the earth. Tug, they're scum of the earth.
Yeah, agree. Very much so. People don't realize that either. People don't realize how horrible these folks are. You know, I never realized what people like yourself or other folks actually, you know, when these mobs get kicked up, I never realized how bad they were until even seeing it on the periphery. I've never seen the full force like a person like yourself has, but just seeing the periphery, it is absolutely insane.
It is insane, but it's common now. This is the way it goes. By the way, we're 2 slices down of the pie.
Woo! Oh wow,
that's what I'm here for.
2 slices down, as you can see. That's where we're at. And as people who are coming in now who might not be up on the situation, CyberFrog Blood Honey has reached $80,000 in 5 days, and because of that, I gave people kind of a choice. Like, what do you want? Usually, you get a stupid pet stunt, like, you know, I'll burn my soy pants. I'm wearing soy pants right now, defiantly, as I eat this pie. Just because I had a pair and I put them on. And I'm like, if I'm going to eat a pie, I'm going to wear soy pants in your faces. In your faces. Yeah. But in any case, people said, we want you to eat a pie. And I said, okay. So we're eating a pie today, a whole pie. Here it is, you know. And I'm going to be eating it during the course of this live stream. I'm going to try to finish it. I don't know if I can, but we're going to make every effort to do it because you guys backed CyberFrog, and I appreciate it. And you can embarrass yourself a little bit when you receive $80,000 in 5 days from supportive fans.
And for every 1,000 Ethan raises from here on out, he's going to eat another pie. So if you want him to eat 10 pies, get him 10 more grand, and he'll do it.
I won't.
He'll do it. You heard it here first.
Yeah, this is the only
pie for every 1,000.
No, this is the only pie that I will be eating. And I'm going to be on the treadmill all day today. All day. All right. Now, Nasser, by the way, welcome Donald Delay. All right. So it did it again. Why does that keep happening to me?
No idea.
Nasser, are you doing that? Is that you that's doing that to me?
No.
Try hitting the back button, man. It may bring up the last.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, let me see.
No, maybe not. I didn't do it. Sorry. Usually, if I park on something like that, it'll do it. So
yeah, it's like a pop up. You know, I mean, that's the problem.
What's going on?
Well, what's going on is that we're eating a pie, and Dean Cain is he's getting swarmed by SJWs today because, well, he recommended punching a 17-year-old. Which, you know, listen, I'm a father. There have been times, you know, where I wanted to punch my 17-year-old. Now he's 20, though. Now he's 20. So I get it. All right. But this is why. All right. Let me see here.
It was because that guy smashed an egg on someone's head, right?
You saw it. That is right. That is 100% correct.
Yeah. He would have caught my hands too.
You think so?
Or worse,
Facts.
right? Or
Facts.
worse, when you don't know who you're attacked from behind. It's funny they don't do that kind of stuff in Texas or Florida, you know?
All
Yeah.
right. So here's what Dean Cain said. Dean Cain said, I would have knocked that kid cold. Again, the kid got smacked twice by a grown man, open-handed. I don't know. I feel like if somebody assaults you, you have a right to hit them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
you do.
You know,
Legally.
sorry, you get hit for that. Now, that's just what you get. I think the senator was completely in his rights. And that's not to say I support what the senator said. I think I think what he said was insensitive at best and kind of racist at worst. So I don't know this guy. I don't support him. But on the other hand, he's a senator, and you can't do that. You can't do that shit. And you get hit for that. Dean Cain says, I would have knocked that kid cold. Now, the thing about Dean Cain is that he represents Superman. And once you play Superman, you're Superman your whole life. You're stuck being Superman. And that means you have to behave a certain way, or people are going to get very upset. I would have knocked that kid out cold. Look at this, 5,000 likes. 5,000 people. 5,000 people want to see Superman punch out a 17-year-old. 276 retweets, and of course he's going to get a little bit of a ratio here, 1.6 thousand people responding to that. This guy says, I too could knock out a kid. I could too, probably. I could knock out a 17-year-old. 17-year-olds, I don't know, once they start to be like 21, 22, 23, that's when they're in their peak. 17-year-olds are no big deal though. Dean Cain, oh, here we go. He was I gotta make up voices for all these people. You gotta look at their faces and then just the voice that comes to mind. He was protesting against a horrible racist man who blamed the death of 50 people on them and their religion. And Dean Cain says something weird. He says, you break, you buy. Now, by the way, when I see Dean Cain now, I immediately think of Mike S. Miller. Now, they look alike. And they also, like, Dean Cain is half Japanese. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they got a picture together. I thought I saw a picture of him and Dean Cain together.
They look like brothers. They really would. You break, you buy. And Mariel says, that makes no sense. And she's right. It doesn't make any sense. And he says, you perpetuate violence on someone, you will reap the repercussions. I usually say consequences. You reap the whirlwind, but the repercussions is a pretty good word. Pretty good word. So here he is. Again, the kid is perpetuating violence, repercussions.
That's
instantly. Reap it.
Reparations. Gotcha.
Yeah, reparations. We'll talk about that. I'm actually pro reparations, and it drives conservatives nuts. I have a good argument. Yeah, but you know what though? You want to talk about reparations for a second, Antonio, and I don't think for a second that you're pro reparations, but like if you really ended up averaging it out, it would be insulting. Like what amount of money is okay? You know what I mean?
Oh, this next tweet is so soy.
All right, here we go.
This needs a soy voice, Ethan.
All right, hold on. My late uncle, this is a woman though. My late uncle worked on the studio lot where you shot that Superman show, and I'm sad for him that you were the biggest celebrity he met. He deserved better. This SJWs are so rude, man. They're just so awful. They just say the worst, like most dehumanizing shit. Like what they're trying to do now is break Dean Cain down. Everything that they're going to say, and they're all going to get a kick in. Everything isn't made to say, hey, man, that was a bad take. That wasn't cool. It's all about how can we break you down as a human being and make you feel like you're unworthy of life. Like that's their goal. And all of their words, they're the worst people. SJWs are the worst people on the face of the earth. They're barely human. The way that they treat other people, subhuman, awful. They dehumanize because they are subhuman. And Dean Cain goes, he tries to take the high road. It's very admirable that you're an RN. I'm sure you help many people. I think RN stood for the R word, and then nincompoop. That's what I think he meant. Basically, she wanted to argue with you, but she doesn't advocate hate. What a joke. All right, so here's where it starts to get bad, guys. Is this fun or is this not fun?
It's fun.
Okay.
It is.
I love that tweet.
It's a little bit of both. I mean, because it's fun to see all these soy boy SJWs come out and try to be keyboard warriors, but it's not fun to see somebody get piled on for having a normal person's take on something.
When you're a celebrity, you know, you get piled on way harder than someone like me. You know, it's like I got piled on pretty good, and I learned about it. You know, I paid attention and I learned a thing or two. But Dean Cain has, you know, Dean Cain is famous. And so he's going to get hit 20, 30, 50 times as hard as I am. And it's something else. Look at this. Hi, I'm Dean Cain, and I fantasized about beating up kids.
You know, Ethan, I wonder, all these people are upset about him saying he'd hit that kid back. I wonder what they would do if someone cracked an egg on their head. Would they just stand there and screech? Like, I can't see any person that wouldn't hit back.
You know, that's correct. Like, you know, again, you know, you say to them, okay, well, what if a Nazi cracked an egg on your head? Then what? You know, it's like, what if a 16-year-old Nazi cracked an egg on your head? What would you do?
Punch Nazis, of course.
What they do is they just call the police.
That's exactly it. They'd cry and call the police. Or did anybody see that?
Who got that on film? Did someone get that on film? Who got that?
That's exactly right.
But they would fantasize impotently about violence is what they would do. Whether or not they were able to do it or capable of committing violence or getting retribution in any way is beside the point. The point, they would fantasize impotently about committing an act of violence on that 16-year-old kid. All right, so here's this guy here. You know you're not really Superman, right? He's talking about punching a kid.
Oh my goodness! Do they know Nazis aren't real though, right?
What? He's like, it's like as if Dean Cain said, you know what? I'd pick up a tractor trailer and throw it at a kid.
Right.
You know, it's like you can't do that because you're not Superman. Yeah, I think I'm gonna punch a 17-year-old boy out and knock him out. You know, you're not really Superman, right? He's not really Superman. He's not. It doesn't take super strength to punch out a 17-year-old. And thank you for pointing out that he's not really Superman, and thus he doesn't have any of the obligations of Superman. All right, hang on, guys. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Hunter's calling me.
Let me ask you guys, 17 is not that young. My brother was signed into the military at 17. I was in the military at 18. So 17 is not like he's a baby.
Right. You remember a certain Catholic school and Nathan Phillips? You remember that whole, oh my God, those MAGA hat kids.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Okay, well, what did these same people say about those kids? Oh, man, let's feed them to a wood chipper.
Lay hands on anyone.
They were talking about feeding kids to wood chippers then. I mean, come on, but this is too much. A guy actually he not only smashes an egg on a dude's head, but he makes contact with dude. Guy turns around again. You don't know what the situation is there, but just as a regular dude, I would have knocked his freaking block off. But as a politician, I mean, we've seen enough people targeted for not with eggs. We've seen them targeted with bullets. So yeah, I ended up smacking somebody, and then an open hand slap at that. Come on.
It's nice that he looked at the kid. I mean, a lot of people, down here in Florida, it's I don't know about Tennessee or but it's open carry. I mean, it's CCW. Everybody's carrying down here. 1.1 million people down here are carrying.
Oh, trust me, they pack heat here in the volunteer state. Believe that.
Right. So,
Florida's a stand your ground state.
Yes, sir. I mean, it went quick, but I'm reaching for mine. From the moment I I wake up in the morning to the time I go to bed, I'm carrying a 38.
Yeah, we're not open carry here, but we have a lot of gone.
That's your CCW, right? You guys,
you better believe.
I'm working on getting my concealed carry.
Good
my
for
dad
you.
teaches. My dad teaches it actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I carry. I can still. I carry a 38. I mean, come on. Let's. Most of us would not deal with this mess.
But yeah, Florida, like Texas. I mean, we're a stand your ground state. If somebody does that, comes up to you and smashes something on your head, you're gonna turn around and pull a gun on them.
I would. I mean, especially from behind. I get jumpy, and then so Tug, you're a 38 guy too.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Yeah,
38.
school,
Yeah, my
Do I?
mom
Okay,
had
yeah.
238s. It was the dirty 30, baby. Let's
30,
get it.
30, right? Yeah, I had it. And you know
I
what?
just always love the
All my
38.
dumb friends or my cousins, they're like, I got a Glock 19 with a 80 round magazine, or 80.
I feel attacked, man. I like Glock 19. That's all I've
I
ever
like them
shot.
too. I like them too. But here's the thing: you need to practice with your weapon. You need, everybody asks me. I'm an NRA instructor. They say, what's the best gun I can get, man? And I say, well, the one you can work with the most, the one that you practice with and feel the most comfortable with. It's about
A Desert Eagle.
Well, you know what? It's old boy, man.
That's for a real man. That's when you want to put a hole through someone.
Yeah,
Desert
exactly.
Eagle.
It'll put more than one.
Mhm.
Ben has like a golden encrusted one or something like that. Don't you?
I used to have a golden her name was Goldie, my Goldie. But I tell you, I went to the range and shot it, and I'm a big guy, man. And I've been shooting since forever. The flame came out 2 feet. The slide came back almost to my face. I ended up selling it for I don't even remember, but I sold it for a lot and bought some Python revolvers.
Yeah. All right, so I'm back. All right. And I just ate another slice of pie while you guys were talking.
Sweet.
Hail Caesar.
I'm halfway through it. We're halfway through the pie. You guys, you can hear me eating it. I'll turn on but every time I turn the camera on, I lose my place. So I can't lose my place here. This is too important. All right. So anyway, Stubot says, disappointingly not very Hallmark channel, Hallmark movie at Hallmark, Dean. Not so much turn the other cheek as punch it. Punch the other cheek.
These people would never turn the other cheek a day in their lives.
But the thing is, what he's doing here is he's letting the Hallmark channel know, he's letting Dean's places of employment know by sending them ads, hey, I'm not sure which one of these you work for or employs you, but I'm going to hit all 3 of them. And by the way, no, the Hallmark channel is completely soy based. It better not be. Dean doesn't want to behave like a Hallmark channel movie for women. He doesn't want to do that. Turn the other cheek.
Which cheek?
All right, here we go. This guy's a dick.
I don't turn that guy's cheek.
Look at this guy's face, man. I don't know who he is. You want to talk about like a punchable face.
They all look the same.
They do, man. They're just all like like they're all little creepy little fat weird. Ugh,
there was a study that came out and proved your point right.
I'm telling you, like, what is the difference between this and Chuck Wendig? Like 4 inches of beard? I mean, there's no difference at all between this guy and everything that he says. Again, here's what SJWs do. Wow, with a period. Not wow with an exclamation point. Normally when people say wow, they go, wow. Wow, Nasser, Stardust was really good.
Thank you, Caesar.
You're welcome. SJWs go, wow. Wow, period. So you see the irony of the wow? They don't mean wow, they mean wow. Okay? Pretty impressive. You would knock out a minor. You feel good about yourself, Dean? You're so fucking damn tough. Why don't you take a break from your Hallmark movies and go to the playground and challenge kids to fights, you fucking tough man? Say hi to James Gunn while you're there. You're such a badass, Dean. So manly, beating up a minor. No one can stop Superman. I hate this dude. I don't know who he is, but I truly hate him. I hate him. People want me to show the pie. All right. Let's show the pie. Can we see the pie at this point?
Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah. We're a little more like I picked at the crust here. And that's fine. All right. Good. All right.
We believe you.
Yeah.
Well, they don't believe me in the chat. They're skeptical about everything. Okay, hold on. So let's get back to the screen share. Did it? No, it didn't screen share.
I don't believe in much, but I believe you can finish that pie.
Yeah, it's not hard.
No.
I think I can do it now. Halfway through, and I'm like, yeah, I can eat some more of this. All right, so pretty impressive. You're such a badass, Dean. Looks like Hallmark needs to clean house this week. Oh, you bitch. For his next role, he'll play Clark Kent. Get it?
This is dumb.
Do you understand? Step up to the plate, Twitter tough guy. Dean Cain thinks he's Superman. Take a swing, Dean. Let's see what happens.
The boy would go down. The 17-year-old would hit the ground. What would happen?
It's horrible. Hallmark movies. Clap, clap, clap. The soy is... God, I'm getting soy poisoning.
You know why I think this happens? What they're really worried about? They're afraid of people standing up to them. These Antifa types. They don't want people to organize. They don't like that. When people say, yo, you touch me, we got a problem.
Right. No, I think you're right about that, Ben.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Like when people say, you know what, like I would have knocked you out cold. They're like, you mean we can't throw eggs unprovoked without consequences?
I'll tell you something that happened to me real quick. I was in Atlanta and I had 3 weirdos that I attribute to them. I was going to work. I was dressed as a business guy and they got in my face. They were yelling at me about something. I maced 2 of them. I didn't have, yeah. I was going to, I had my slacks on. I wasn't carrying at that time. It was in my bag. And the police came. I waited for the police. I went through the whole report. There was video of them aggressing me. And they were so surprised that it happened. They couldn't believe I maced them, that quickly. And, all we did was get an inch from your face and start screaming. That's illegal. That's illegal.
It is illegal.
Yeah.
That's assault.
It's assault. And the police told him, we have video of you aggressing this gentleman as he's walking into an office building.
I'm curious about something, EBS. Like, how do you keep that soy from destroying you? Is it the pie? Is that the pie balance? Because, I lost a gallbladder and appendix to soy.
I'm getting sick. Honestly, the pie is helping me out. The pie is high tea. The soy from these guys going Hallmark Channel and then 3 clap emojis, that's unbearable.
Right.
That's really, really bad.
Right. It's like suddenly I want to lecture everybody about mansplaining.
All right. So we're like, what are we, 4/6 of the way through the pie now. Okay. All right. Hold on a second. Back to the soy. People are like, I need to see you eat the pie. They don't believe this. And yeah, hand pie is the best pie. You guys don't even understand. You'll never eat pie with a fork again. Eat it with your bare hands like a pizza. It's how to do it. Hey, Tony Double Chins, I missed you calling out those who threatened the Covington students a few weeks ago. Please post some screenshots of you doing so. If you can't, then your outrage at Kane would seem a little fake, don't you think? Isn't that true right there?
Yep.
Totally.
Very much so.
You guys, you were literally talking about beating the holy crap out of little kids. And those were little kids.
Right.
That didn't do anything.
Yep. Didn't touch anybody. Didn't yell at anybody. Nothing.
Smirking's bad.
Tony Double Chins.
Tony Double Chins.
Which one is Tony? Oh, it's the guy that I hate, dude. It's this guy right here.
Tony Double Chins.
Oh, I hate him, man. I just hate his face. I hate his stupid smile. I hate his ugly glasses. I hate his weird hat. Like, what is this? I gotta get a closer look at this guy. Oh,
it's like a fat version of the Swiffer that you drew.
It's like the sequel to Donnie Brasco. It's like Donnie Brasco.
He looks like Donald's twin brother.
He's got 175,000 followers, so I don't feel bad. Like, I'm not punching down at all. I'm punching up right now.
Oh my goodness! If you have to put funny person in your description on Twitter, you're not funny.
And to say, I'm kind of people that deserve kindness. So who doesn't deserve kindness?
Look at him. Tee. I really dislike his face, man.
Yeah, me too.
He bathes in soy.
I really dislike this dude. And I'm a loving, kind man. I'm a husband, father. Nothing but warmth in my heart, generosity. But
Human sunbeam.
I would throw this dude into a log splitter, like probably, and go right to sleep and feel just fine. Sleep like a baby. Throw him right into a stump grinder.
Fargo.
Yeah. Is that pushing it? I shouldn't say that.
I'm going to see that on SJW Spider-Man's walls. Like, Ethan wants to murder people.
Tony Poznanski, look out. Ethan Van Sciver's going to throw you into a log splitter. It's going to be like the opening of Twin Peaks, but your face. Yeah.
At first, they're going to think it's a log splitter, a wood chipper, and then they're going to have to look up what a log splitter is. They don't work with logs.
They don't work with logs.
No. No, they don't know. Man, farm labor, work. They don't know.
God damn these people. All right, let me go over here. Dean Cain Twitter search. So this is going to work a little bit better because you're just going to get people who are talking garbage about Dean Cain right now. Ripley's, believe it or not, Dean Cain is I mean, that's like these people with their vulgarity.
And their jokes are never even funny. It's just cringe.
This is a woman.
I thought that was a man.
Well, you would think so because the hair makes a mustache.
Don't assume her gender.
Right. They're gonna lock me up for that.
But Twitter will never take action on any of this. I'm sure there's accounts getting reported, Dean Cain's followers and friends and Christians and just like that guy Tim, I don't remember his name, but one on Joe Rogan's show, some guy proved that Twitter was biased.
Yeah.
Tim Pool, yeah.
I like this guy who says who the fuck is Dean Cain. That's at least Yeah, if you didn't grow up in the 90s, you don't know who Dean Cain is.
There was one above that I really, really hate. A couple of tweets above. It said, "So you support the racist?"
Yeah.
Like, no, maybe he just supports free speech. You don't have to agree with somebody to say that they can say what they want to say.
Well, you don't even have to support free speech to not support people being able to walk up and smash an egg in your face, like strangers doing that.
Support self-defense.
Like, every day these SJWs break down society. Like, this is the world they're building. You're building a world where it's okay for someone to walk up to a stranger and smash an egg in your face while filming it for YouTube. That's the world you're building for yourselves, whether you know it or not. Is that the world you really want to live in? Because it could happen to you, and I will be the one smashing the eggs.
And then they want to yell about PewDiePie's name being in the mouth of some nut job.
Yeah. Look at this guy. This is pretty funny. You can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. Oh shit, Dean Cain is beating me up. Help. That's actually very clever. Good for you.
Man, that Patrick dude is just disingenuous with that. They try to make you out to be some monster so you could be unemployable.
It gets worse. All right, so Dean Cain is a gutless. Again, look at this. SC. You take this word, which liberals love, or social justice words love. They love this word, and then this word too, and combine them together. Look, it happened here. It happened here. This is new NPC programming.
Why aren't they getting banned for 11 days? Okay, I'd like to point out that I said it once in a
I agree. I mean,
someone's attitude, and I got banned for 11 days.
Can I report? I don't want to report.
New NPC programming live.
Yeah, that's what this is. I mean, literally, you go, I've never heard that before, and then you go, oh, it's right here too. Oh, it's right there. That's why it's NPC programming. Dean Cain, I would uppercut a baby. Just watch. I don't think you said that. Now, this is the worst human being on the face of the earth, and I know I say that a lot. But this woman here, smirking with the pink hair, she's awful, and she is involved in all of this. I don't know what her home life is like. I imagine it's deeply troubled. She is involved in stirring garbage every single time there's some kind of SJW swarm. She's right there. She's right there. This guy, Dean Cain, used to play Superman in a successful TV show. Now he brags about how he'd knock a kid unconscious for the kid's harmless but powerful act of pegging a Nazi.
Powerful.
That boy is 16. He's a kid, and he's braver than Superman. Hey, Nasser, I want to say something to you. You were 19 when you stood up to CB Sobolski.
Yeah.
Right.
You are braver than Captain Marvel.
Oof, that means a lot.
I want to say to you. You're braver than Captain Marvel. You stood up to CB Sobolski in front of a room full of hostile weirdos, and you told him what was what. You spoke the truth to power. You are braver than Captain Marvel. And I mean Brie Larson.
Jeez, hey.
Hail Caesar. That means so much to me, Ethan.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought it would. Nobody agrees with me.
I agree with you. And I love that you're a hustler. I told you that recently. You never stop that. The people I found in my life that are most successful are people that are always hustling, trying to get it done.
Now, some people in the chat are disagreeing. They're saying Nasser feels no emotion, so how could he be brave? That's an interesting point.
Since
Like,
when do I feel no emotion?
If you're incapable of feeling fear because you're a sociopath, it's not really brave. You know.
I'm scared of everything.
All right.
Hey, Ethan, I actually gotta go.
That's all. You can go. Go ahead. You don't
But,
have to apologize to me for going. You got everything that you needed out of this chat. You know, you got called Captain Marvel, Brie Larson.
Mm-hmm.
Now's a good time to go.
Always leave it on a high note.
Yeah, nobody yelled at you.
Yeah, nobody's screaming about kicking you out. Nothing. It's good.
Kick Nasser.
See you guys.
All right, bye-bye. All right, so arguing with Dean Cain over whether Superman would punch Nazis, 8-year-old me's mind would have been blown, heart would have been broken. God. I don't think that was the I don't think that was the argument. Superman, all right, real Dean Cain. That would be extreme child abuse. No excuses. Fancy gloating about wanting to knock a child unconscious over an egg. It's over an egg. This guy's got a poster now, Egg Boy. That's what he looks like.
You notice he keeps getting younger too. You know, he was a child, a baby.
Yeah. That is what he
Baby,
looks
17 and a half.
He's going to literally be called Egg Boy. He's going to be like embryo.
I can't believe Dean Cain wants to punch a fetus.
He's Egg Boy because he's a fetus. He's a zygote. Oh, I can't believe Dean Cain wants to scissor kick a zygote. I really can't. I mean, that's going too far.
That would be an awesome meme if you could work this guy in here. Oh my god, I'd love to watch that.
Yeah, and again, in the meantime, people in the chat are pointing out they wanted to kill a kid because of his smirk. So much projection here. Dean Cain just simply said, man, if somebody smashed an egg in my face like that, in the back of my head, I'd have knocked him out. Somehow I think it's reasonable. Come at Dean Cain with a Nerf gun, he'll break your goddamn fingers. You start this shit, he'll finish it. More weirdos. I saw Dean Cain was trending. Oh, sad. Did he die? Clicks. Nope, he's just an asshole. Hashtag worst Superman ever. This is actually something that SJWs say over and over again. I think 3 people said this about me when they were swarming me. They go, oh, Dean Cain, I forgot you existed. And it turns out that was a good thing. They all repeat like all of these lines over and over again, Tug. I don't know why they do it.
You know exactly why they do it. Like you said, you called it out. You know, it literally is in PC programming. They have to do it because they know that this mob will turn against them if they don't sound exactly the same each time.
And they only have like 4 or 5 acceptable zingers, you know, between them, all of them. I mean, they said that well, anyway. But yeah, I think
that's true. When they come up with the good ones, someone's like, oh my God, you know, that is so ableist. Why are you going out and like making fun of those people? You know, and it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Shame on all these people. So it's got to be more than this. Oh, 603 new results. Yeah, there is more. Yes, it's called comedy. Your stupidity is so embarrassing. They're going to keep going. This is going to go on all day long. Real Dean Cain, the only Superman who would defend Nazis.
Oh wow!
So again, that dude is a Nazi. That's senator. I wonder if New Zealand's aware that they have a Nazi senator. Again, I'm not defending what he had to say, but these people just take it to the next level. And we got some good. Thank you, Real Dean Cain, for supporting a worthy cause. It was beating up a kid. Wait, what's this in reference to? Oh, okay. The Holocaust Memorial. All right. So there you go. That would be funny though. Worthy effort beating up a kid. Yeah. He forgets he's not actually Superman. Dude, he doesn't have to be Superman to knock out a 17-year-old. If you've seen Dean Cain, the dude was hired to be Superman because he's built like Superman.
That dude folded from an open hand slap like a wet paper bag. I mean, come on. Dean Cain would kill him.
Right, the boy got smacked in the mouth. You know, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, did your granddad ever smack you in the mouth, or your dad ever smack you in the mouth? That's all he got was a smack in the mouth.
Yeah, did he? Oh, people are telling me to eat. Hold on, I'm eating. I'm having another piece now.
I was going to say, a grown man, like say if a grown man slap another grown man, that's some fighting shit to me.
Me too.
You just don't slap men like that. They used to kill people. You have to have a gun duel back in the day if you would do some shit like that.
You're right. You're exactly right. It was about honor, and he assessed the kid. He assessed the kid, said, "Yeah, he's 17. I'm gonna smack him in the mouth like I would my boy." That's what I think happened.
This guy, especially prepared for real Dean Cain. He's got an egg with Dean's name on it.
That's funny.
And this guy responds, "Can't wait to see an old man slap the shit out of you." I love these people. Yeah, I can't wait either. Good times. Donald, what do you think of all this?
I think the kid got what he deserved. I think people coming at Dean Cain are retarded. I mean, he can knock that kid out easily. Look at the size of him.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the size of him. And doesn't he box or something? But he's a big dude. Mm-hmm. One punch and that kid would have been knocked out from him.
One punch man.
I just think the whole thing is ridiculous that they're going after him.
I don't think the guy went far enough. Just slapping him in the face, man. I'm telling you, somebody smashes an egg on my head,
He would have kept.
We're not gonna have a fun time there.
Oh, he was about to.
The senator is Australian, not from New Zealand. Okay, good information. Somebody named Lush Rimbaugh. That's weird.
Lush Rimbaugh.
Yeah.
Megadiddles.
Yeah, he stops up for a white supremacist. Real classy. Oh, they say this too. Keep it classy. Real classy, Comicsgate. Stay classy, Comicsgate. I really despise these people. I don't know if it's coming through.
No, I feel it.
I think you could use a little more soy in the voice.
A little more. Should I get a little spicier though?
A little saltier.
Yeah.
Needs more salt.
Look at this. So are we supposed to be impressed that you would knock out a 16 or 17-year-old kid, Dean Cain? You are 50. Is Dean Cain 52 years old?
Yeah.
That's when you start to realize that, like, you're getting old.
It's been a while since Lois and Clark, man.
Yeah. Why did they name it Lois and Clark? Is it because of Lewis and Clark, the people who discovered the Louisiana Purchase? I mean, the explorers?
No, it was supposed to be more about Lois and Clark as opposed to Superman and Lois.
But Tony was in the bathroom.
It does sound like Lewis and Clark. You have to admit. All right, so you're 52 years old, and all those years you've never learned a better way to deal your anger. Okay, sad. That is dealing your anger. All right, so Antifa, all you need to know. You don't tug on Superman's cape. Real Dean Cain is untouchable and amazing and right. I gotta like this. I gotta hit a like on it. He's untouchable.
Dean Cain is a reserve police officer for St. Anthony Police Department in St. Anthony, Idaho. So yeah, he would definitely take that kid down in a heartbeat.
Well, yeah, and this person says, really, Dean, you think egging someone as a political protest is a true act of violence? Let's take that apart. This post is actually pretty not snarky. This is substantial. It says, egg on your face may be embarrassing, but it isn't actually hurting you. Punching a kid half your size in the head could do serious harm. People have died from one punch. All right. Egging someone as political protest. Is that appropriate? Is that okay? I mean, is that something that...
No, that is legally by any criminal code assault.
But remember, assault smirks. A kid goes out and smirks. That was not appropriate, but going further and smashing an egg on someone's head, that somehow is.
Until there's a law passed by Congress that says it is appropriate free speech to egg another human being, no, it's illegal.
Dean Cain makes me wish I had kryptonite. Oh my God, these people! Why?
Oh, look at that!
Oh, who is this guy?
What in the world?
I love that response. What in the world?
I love that the puppet's upset.
Like God's creation is wide and varied and very goddamn odd sometimes. I got it. Oh, look at this. Here's Dean Cain about to punch a child. He's going down. Like he's gonna knock her unconscious. Look, I don't know. Look, oh, Dean, this picture's so sweet. It is. It is sweet. It is sweet. Why can't people just appreciate Dean Cain for the guy he is? Real good guy. He cut in front of us in line for coffee once, though. Andrea remembers that. She's like, I said, I guess Superman can cut in front of us, and he got embarrassed. We bought his coffee. She should have bought us coffee. We bought him coffee because we were talking to him. Michelle Malkin says, I love real Dean Cain. Here's the thing about all this, though. This really does send a signal to people. When Dean Cain is kind of being all right. So Dean Cain is calling out the kid for egging a senator, this one particular senator, who basically said that Muslims are to blame for their own tragedy. And he's mad at the kid who smashed an egg in the guy's head. Now, does that basically say that Dean Cain, does it kind of suggest that Dean Cain supports what that senator said?
Not in the slightest.
I
You
don't
don't
think
think so? Okay. And then Michelle Malkin comes out and goes, I love real Dean Cain. Now, is she by default supporting what that senator said? I mean, there's a series of like messages that get sent back. These are called dog whistles, Donald. Did Donald leave?
No, I'm here. My dogs are in the background being little jerks, so I'm muting myself, trying to keep their howling from ruining the show.
Oh, it's okay. Donald, is this a, speaking of dogs, is this a dog whistle? You know what I mean? Did you hear what I said before?
Yeah, I heard what you said. I really don't know if it's a dog whistle, but my dogs would say it is.
Clearly it is.
Yeah, your dog is
hearing
really
it.
The dog gets whistle.
8-Man is
Dog
saying
whistle.
please feed
They're
your
going
dog.
crazy over it.
8-Man wants you to feed your dogs. All right, so that is the situation right now. It's far worse than that. If you look hashtag Dean Cain, he is being swarmed like I've never seen before. And I'm thinking about making a whole video that's just like the best of. I think videos about SJW swarms are pretty good. I think they're pretty good. If you
I like
can
when you do them.
the right way. Seems like something Tug would do too.
Oh yeah, yeah. It'll actually. I like I like the fact that when you put them together, you get to voice all of them like that. It's beautiful.
Yeah, you have to come up with a different voice for all of them.
Yeah.
Although when you go and do that fat SJW's voice, you got to make sure you have something in your mouth when you're talking.
Well, I usually do here, and right now I am almost done. You guys see? I mean that's what I can feel it. Like I'm getting a twitch in one eye. On it. But I'm almost done this pie. Gradsmere says Ethan should do a sketch while eating the pie and drip some pie on it and auction it off. That sounds disgusting. Thunderbird says pie time. People are excited about this. Darth Bobcat says cricket pie because he's a frog. Al M, thanks for $2. Darth Bobcat says I'd rather have a spine on this print. Well Hung and Dunk says the SJWs on Twitter are in the process of taking down J.K. Rowling for being too pro LGBTQ. LOL. We got to check that out.
For being too pro?
Every time though that J.K. Rowling tries to do something, it blows up in her face. It's been beautiful. She decided to go out and in one of the I'm trying to think that amazing whatever the new Harry Potter crap is. I can't keep up with it. Sorry, folks. There, but she decided to take one of the items there, one of the Horcruxes, and turn it into a person. And she said, "Hey, you know what would be better than to turn that thing into I think it was an Asian woman, a person of color." And people were like, "Yeah, so you just took an item that a white dude drinks milk from, and all of that. He milks and he keeps as a slave, and you turned it into a person of color. Way to go. Way to go." It all blows up in her face. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I might have to do a video on that. J.K. Rowling's stupid. After her Harry Potter books were done, she goes, "Oh, by the way, that fat wizard dude is gay." You know what I mean?
Fat wizard dude.
I don't know. I don't read the books. She's like, that fat wizard dude is gay. And so, I didn't ever read about him getting it on with the dude. So what does it matter? You tell me he's gay, but you know what I mean? It's so cowardly. Like, you didn't say that in advance of producing a new book where he was gay. Did she?
No, I don't think it was central to the plot either, which, you know, it doesn't matter either way, but
No, it was just done for woke points. I mean, oh look, I have a gay character. You just don't know about it in the book.
Right.
Look
Surprise.
how woke I am.
Gay. Surprise gay. Stan Lee did that with Bobby Drake. Didn't he, or didn't he?
He didn't know he created a gay character.
Yeah, he didn't know he created a gay character until later, and then he let people know Bobby Drake is gay, thanks to Jean Grey. It's a song. Those are song lyrics. Armchair Warlord says, congrats on 80K. The Maiden's War is live now on Indiegogo. Check it out. It's an awesome book, and I'm all fired out. Can I get a shout out? Yeah, everybody go look at The Maiden's War on Indiegogo. Al M says, so no spine or chromium on volume 3, just pi? Well, I didn't say that. You know, we can go to chromium once we get to 100,000. And we will. We're going to get to 100,000, I think, if we just keep going at this pace. So once we get to $100,000, I will turn to you guys and say, hey, you want chromium or do you want a spine? And I'll take a vote. I'll take a poll on Twitter. Do I take a poll on Twitter?
Spineless EVS.
Seems fair.
Yeah. Darth Bobcat says, this is like making Limbaugh take pills, relapse. What do you guys think of this? Is what's happening to me cruel right now? Me eating pie?
it is a spectacle because you have been so, you know, trying to not and get in shape and not eat pie.
Mm-hmm.
I came to watch you eat the whole pie and see if you do it. I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It is cruel, it's a way, but you know, that's YouTube as well. That's what makes YouTube fun.
Are you not entertained?
I'll live with it.
Antonio, thank you. Antonio's like, I can handle it with my conscience.
It's not a bad life. You get to 80K, you get to eat a pie, talk to your friends.
Mm-hmm. Publius Publicola says, we love you, Uncle E. Thanks. Oh, thanks for cutting back on the pies. We want to keep you around for as long as possible, but do enjoy your victory pie. I'm trying to enjoy it. I'm not really enjoying it at this point. I got to be honest with you. I enjoyed it up till about 1/3 of the pie being gone, and that I was enjoying it. Now I'm suffering through it, but I'm almost done.
I think it's the guilt. You're feeling guilt.
A little guilt. A little guilt. Publius Publicola says the choke was excessive, but the slap is warranted. Yeah. Oh, you mean the choke when he was on the ground? Yeah.
They were trying to restrain him for until authorities got there.
Hmm. Yeah.
Which, if you're trying to keep him, sorry,
he's being rewarded everywhere he goes. Like everyone is like, "Oh my gosh, Egg Boy, you're a hero." God, I hate these people so much. They sit there and encourage violence, political violence, and then once some idiot does it, they're like so happy and so proud of him, and they want to reward it and encourage more of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the dude what makes you a hero to these people? That's it's so ridiculous. It's so absurd, man. You don't change the world for the better. You slap an egg on someone's head, like you said, encouraging violence. And hey, you're a great person out there. All these little keyboard crusaders, they got to get together. They got to spread their socially transmitted disease. I've been thinking about it a lot. It is like they chase this current year version of the clap. You know, it's not the old STD we know. It's like a social transmitted one. It sounds like this. They got to keep going, and whatever they'll do to get it, it's awful.
The W's are the drippy goo penis.
Mm. All right. Piece of Power Slave says, you know how many 17-year-olds need to have the shit beat out of them? The majority. I'd say most of them. Yeah.
I certainly needed to.
That's true.
Yeah.
What happens when you're 17? Like you're smirking at the world. You have no idea how anything works, but you think everybody's stupid around you.
Most of my family goes in the service at 17, 18, and you get it kicked out of you.
Oh, yeah.
I recommend it.
Yeah, I recommend it too.
When I was
The
17,
military.
I got beat down.
Yeah.
I would be down for a 2-year, American service of some kind. Doesn't have to be military, maybe community service, but some way where you learn discipline and structure and service.
And how to scrub the floor.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
Get down
that's
and do it.
humiliating. You know, that's the kids need that. You know,
Yeah,
I trained
you're
my
right.
kid. Hunter endured metaphysical abuse at my hands, and he'll tell you that. And I told you guys about this the other day. I came up with creative punishments to keep Hunter in line. I'm an excellent father. Absolutely excellent. I made him go sit in the corner in lotus position and chant Om until he reached Nirvana. And he had to do that in front of people. I'd be like, Hunter, you're gonna get metaphysical abuse. And he was like, Dad, no. I was like, in the corner, sit in lotus position.
I did it to my daughter the other day. She was researching suicide, and I was like, "What are you doing researching this?" And I told you, you think that killing is the answer? So I just had to sit down without without a table and that. I just like, sit there for a couple hours, and when you're done, you can stand up for the rest of the night. And she was just crying; she couldn't take it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was just only searching. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know?
It works.
Yeah.
Kids don't like it. They don't know why they're being made to go Om. And you tell them, did you reach Nirvana yet? And they're like, they lie. They're like, yes. No, you didn't. If you had reached Nirvana, you wouldn't be crying right now.
If you'd be glowing, are you glowing yet, son?
Right.
I'm glowing.
I can't reach Nirvana. He's dead.
Yeah. Oh. Al M says, I welcome all SJW to come throw eggs in Detroit.
I would not recommend that.
Kay Brady says, I didn't raise my kid to attack another person. If he hits someone, then he should expect to get hit back without me justifying his stupidity. Yeah, don't hit someone unless you're ready to get hit back. That's for sure. I mean, these SJWs are like, what? What?
There are consequences to my actions?
Yeah. Whatever you do, expect to get hit. That's the rule of thumb. Whatever you do in life, expect to get hit for it. Well Hung and Dunk says EVS would fight any 16-year-old girl and perhaps win. I've said that before. I said there is no 16-year-old girl that I couldn't beat up. And, bring them on.
I remember that comment.
Yeah.
My 18-year-old and 16-year-old together, I think they could take it.
I don't think so.
2-on-1, they box.
I don't care.
Girls. Oh, that might be fun. Big boxing gloves.
How big are your daughters? Are they abnormally huge?
No, they're almost 6 foot though, but they're trained.
Wow.
Speed and precision will beat raw might for sure. Always in boxing.
Yeah. Frosty Biggins says Todd McFarlane said once at a convention that when it comes to selling a comic, it's 51% the art and 49% the story. What's your opinion on that?
Oh boy.
I think it's
don't do it, Ethan. Don't.
Well, no, I think that's close to being right. I think the art sells
shit.
Art. What?
You always shit on writers. It kills me. And I was like,
no, I don't.
What was the percentages?
51 art, 49 story.
I'm going to be honest. I'm only a writer. I, from all of my stuff for selling comic books, it's 75% art and 25%. Man, I would say at least 40. And let me tell you why, man. Let me tell you why. So I've been doing a lot of market research. It's been going around. What will keep people entranced for comics? Sequential visual storytelling is that art that pops. It could be an amazing story, but if I had subpar artists, nobody's going to buy Ravage. Nobody's going to buy The Wraith. I know they're cool stories, but I don't know. That's just been my experience over the past year.
Kelsey wants in. Somebody want to send Kelsey the link?
I'll send it to him.
Okay. Yeah, Kelsey, come on in.
Isn't he in the chat room?
I thought he was, but he's saying let me in.
Those old ones. I don't know.
Oh.
There's still, when I built the new one, like I'm not sure who I left out, honestly. I probably left a bunch of people out.
I'm not in there.
I regret asking you to bring Nasser in.
Oh my God. It just means he's going to be in every single live stream that I do because he's waiting. He's got nothing else to do. So he's just waiting to come on. 51% art, 49% story. It doesn't, that's not across the board. That really is dependent on who's doing the art and who's doing the story. If it's Todd McFarlane doing the art, it's 100% Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
Comic.
I don't think Todd's a good writer, but
yeah.
I definitely. Well, see, that's the only thing because I've criticized you before about this because you said we were on the stream and you said 60-40 one time, and it just made me cringe. But you give Jeff Johns 50-50. Everybody else, you're like 60-40, 70-30.
It means that you got to work harder, Antonio. You got to work harder.
No, I think, if Jeff Johns is writing the book, it's like 70-30 in his direction.
Oh, wow.
Depending on who the artist is.
Yeah, depending on who the artist is. I mean,
Gary Frank, it's 50-50.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Because I mean, you always give him, but I mean, Jeff Johns is amazing. Don't make it sound like I don't want it to sound like I'm shitting on Jeff. I love Jeff's writing. I love Scott Snyder's writing. I used to love Mark Waid's writing until about 6-7 years ago. But
yeah, they're just people that it really depends. Wow, Daniel Michael, thanks for 50 euros. Really respect what y'all talk about on here and enjoy listening to the crazy shit and the movie and the movie and comic industry do and say. Not too many people using common sense anymore, but I'm glad to see this group does. Daniel, you say that as I'm eating a whole pie on a live stream. Common sense is a rare occurrence around here. But thank you for the super chat. Mark C, thanks for $10. Todd McFarlane is wrong. Assuming the artist is a good graphic storyteller, it's 100% art. If an artist can't tell a story, a good writer will look terrible. Yeah, but
that's one thing I like about Kanan's layouts. But he will tell you that he's drawing. He's basing what he's drawing off the descriptions and everything that I'm giving him because I'm very precise in the script that I gave him. So.
Yeah, and Ethan, let me ask you a quick question. When you professionally were working with writers, with the style of script that you would get, would it have like reference pictures for you and shots, like movie shots, or did you go just kind of script, short script because you've been doing it so long?
No, I mean. Depending on who is the writer. Writers are all different. Jeff would occasionally say, hey, it's a military base and it looks like this, and he'd have a photograph.
Uh-huh.
There are other guys who really put in tons of photos. Tons of photos, yeah. For everything. Like, hey, I want you to, this was inspired by this piece of art. And they put a little picture of the art.
Uh-huh.
It varies, it varies. But what I'm saying is that, it really does depend. It really does depend. You can't say it's 51% the art and 49% the story when it's Neil Gaiman writing the story.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's 100% Neil Gaiman, and it really doesn't matter who draws the story.
I don't know about that. I mean, because I found a couple of his collaborations, the art the story was it was great art and great story. So I was just, oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was him and Jim Lee, it would be 50-50.
Yeah.
Right.
D Loves All Things says, Ethan, I'm not rich. What's better for you, super chats or buying your book? And please support my friend's kid-friendly book, Hero Book 1 on Indiegogo. D Loves All Things, to be honest with you, if you're not rich and you want to support my channel, click thumbs up. You don't have to give me money. You give me money as a tip, but if you really if you enjoy the show and you enjoy my channel and want to throw me some support, click thumbs up or share my video. That goes way further than $4.99 does. And I thank you. Yeah, Hero Book 1, we looked at it yesterday. It looks really, really good. And I love the watercolor painting. Beautiful. Welcome, Kelsey, by the way.
What's up?
Hello.
I had something to say, man. Everybody's talking about you eating pies and like, oh dear God, we need Ethan around long time to fight whatever. I'm just like, oh man, I want Ethan like eating nonstop and just getting like super fat and just be like, those SGWs flying everywhere,
That's what I'm doing right now.
Look, there's only room for one gymongous fat artist, okay? And I have claimed that toilet.
Yeah, I don't want to eat that much. I'm on the last slice here, and I'm like having trouble.
You guys can be the cookie monster of pies.
Hey, pass it over, man. I'll take it.
I know you would. I wish you were here. And I'm eating it with my hands.
I'll eat your sloppy seconds, man. I got no problem.
So you got to do a campaign and then make one of the perks that I'll eat a pie if you get me to this point, you know.
I'd have to have the
Can't-
perk to not eat the pie, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll be good. I'll behave myself. K Brady says everyone responding to Dean do not actually raise kids as such. Do not understand how pissed at your kid you would be for for it being an egging idiot. Yeah, Kelsey, did you see this guy who egged the?
Yeah, man. You know what? I was listening to you guys earlier, and I was saying, you know, I don't care if it's like an immigrant woman holding like 10 starving children, man. I just would have been, you know, and then looked at the aftermath later, you know.
Yeah, people react. People respond when they're hit. You know.
Yeah. Well, he took a moment to look.
Yeah.
Like, who did this and why? You see a split second of like animal recognition, you know. I have egg on my head, turn around, try to sort out why and who did it real quick. Oh, it's a smart ass 17-year-old. Boom. What you got to do. Don't let that happen, man.
The open hand slap, I think, is the real insult.
That's the fatherly thing. Like,
That's
he
the
treated
fatherly
it like,
thing.
yeah, like,
How dare you, young man?
Right.
You know.
that's what my dad would have done.
Mine too.
I would have gotten rocked across the head. Open
man.
hand.
You guys got nice families, man. My my dad would have been, "Where's my fucking gun?" You know. This is the last time you do some shit like that. Where's my?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thankfully he left us years ago. So
Yeah, I know. I can't imagine that.
That caught me off guard.
what? You leaving your family? It's pretty easy. Apparently.
So physically abusing your kids, like, I'm angry. I you know, but you know, I always used to say, like, you know, my dad used to hit us, you know, and my brother did a whole book about it. He did a book called One Dirty Tree, which was about my dad, and like my dad was abusive in a lot of ways. He's a cooler guy now. He's mellowed out, but my dad would do it out of rage, and that's the thing. Like, deciding that you're going to spank your kids, if that's what you're going to do, that's a decision that you need to make. You got to be calm, and you got to make sure that it's not cathartic when you're doing it, and that's where the abuse comes in. You know, it's like my dad taking out his anger on his kids, and I think that's you know, a lot of our generation endured that.
Right.
Mhm. That's true.
I don't think we do that though.
I don't. I've been very different, you know, even though we're down south and down here in the country and stuff, you know. Now I still spank my kids, but I was much more, I was a controlled guy. But when they got older that I could communicate, like I would say I'd swat my kids, you know, like when they were very, very little, like don't run in the street. But once I could communicate and take away video games or something, you know, another kind of redirection for punishment, then I'd stopped.
Now, nothing worked on me, man. I was paddled until the day that I can like reach back and like, no, you know, that's but, like, it didn't work. I found ways to like not get caught, you know. It just makes you like in prison, you know, going to prison doesn't teach you shit. It just makes you better at what you're, you know, trying to get away with.
Make you angry. Yeah, I punched my dad when I was 19. I'll never forget that. My dad was hitting my sister, and over something stupid. Like, my dad was just losing his mind right before my mom and dad got divorced. And I went down and I just, like, I saw what my dad was doing. I was like, "What are you doing?" And he looked up at me, and I could see he had like craziness in his eyes. And I just hauled back and punched my father.
Good.
Yeah, that was the last time he hit anyone.
Good.
Did he still have craziness in his eyes, or was it like
It was like it woke him up.
Right.
You know, it woke him up. It was weird.
So did he go broke when he got woke?
Yes. In fact, yeah. But that's the thing. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, all these things, you know, violence and raising your kids, and you know, you want to teach your kid the consequences of being physical without necessarily being physical yourself. And this kid, the arrogance, the narcissism of a child who thinks that it's his role, it's his job to go up and punish a politician that he disagrees with. His protest equals, I get to walk up, you know, at you, on you, and smash an egg on your head.
and that deserves a good ass whooping, man. I mean, that
Yeah. Yep.
I'm one of these guys that like I believe that all these jerks should say whatever they want, including these jerks right here. You know, it's just you're going to pay the price. You know, if it comes with a you know, or you know, a good sock in the mouth, man. That's just the American way, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And they try to say, and they make a good point, that freedom of speech is not freedom from consequences. And you're right. If you slander somebody, you get sued. If you know, if you walk up to somebody and you scream in their face, you might get maced or punched in the mouth.
Yeah. All right, here we go. This is the last piece of pie. It's the crust on the bottom. It's the best
You just
part.
eating it with no milk. You just eating it straight.
Yeah. Ready?
Wait. Oh, what kind of pie? What is it?
Apple pie.
Apple. Oh, you're my man. I love apple pie.
All done. I'm sticking. I know. It was good. People are like, people in the chat were like, I feel sad because it doesn't look like you're enjoying the pie. Well,
it doesn't look like you're enjoying it. I don't think
too much.
Hey,
Of a good
what do you think? What do you think about the concept of putting yellow cheese on apple pie?
I don't understand it.
Now that sounds gross. The first time I ever heard that was a taxi driver. He's like, I just need a slice of yellow cheese on my pie, and I used to think, oh, that's gross. But I thought about when I was a kid, I used to eat apple slices and cheese.
Yeah,
and that was delicious.
By the way, empty pie tin just for proof. No, I can't do it. I don't get it. I don't get the cheese.
There's something about I can eat apple slices and cheese, but there's something about like cooked apples with melted cheese that just somehow crosses the line. I don't know.
All right, hold on. I gotta go wash my hands. You guys chat for a little while. I'll be right back, okay? Because my hands are all sticky from this.
You know what we should chat about, guys? Ravage, kill all men.
What's that?
The Ravage is still up, everybody, on Indiegogo. You have basically 5 days left, maybe 7 days left, and I'm going to shut this bad boy down. We're in the middle of fulfillment. So we have a couple of VIP packs left. We got 49 left of the VIP packs. And
look, we've been doing this a long time, and I've tried to tell you, it's pronounced Jungle Comics. Jungle Comics
is the cousin. I feel like we're related, Kelsey.
We are actually. We're related by our father. Blood.
We're brothers, bro. We're brother. I do want Jungle Comics, man. It is amazing. I actually, I mean, it's now Jungle Comics. People used to ask me. It's a very different story than Ravage. Jungle Comics was actually based on an older series. Am I right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Oh,
what was the older
on an older series?
Yeah, but do you know?
Let me whip out the salesman right here.
Reviving a classic genre from the golden age of comics, where men were men and women were hot.
Women were hot.
That's the return of a classic golden age comics genre. Jungle Comics is back, kicking and screaming by Chuck Dixon and Kelsey Shannon, a comic filled with pulpy adventures set deep in the depth of the most steamy jungle where death lurks just around the corner.
Cleveland Steam Pie.
And we're men and women were hot. Dude, that's a great pitch.
It is a great pitch. It's so much better than anything anyone else does when I ask them to pitch their own comics and they embarrass me and themselves.
Oh, no.
Antonio.
Why did I know he was going to call that?
What about Ravage? Two men trapped on two army veterans crash in a mystical jungle populated by a lost tribe of toxic warrior women that hunt men, enslave them, and kill hunt, enslave, and kill all men. They must escape, submit to survive, or die trying.
Yeah. I don't know. I like them both.
I like the Futurama version of your story, where I would just like get along, I think.
You would go with enslavement.
Well, I mean, if they're trying to kill you by snoo, then I'm down for that.
I mean, you are enslaved. You're a worker force. You are a slave. Would you choose that if you crashed on a mystical jungle?
if they pay me with snoo, I'm down with that. I mean, if
Okay,
it's,
once a year, you may get snoo. The rest, you are a hard manual labor. You're a slave, treated with disdain and hate.
that's a way. That's a way to get men riled up, man. Withholding snoo. You're gonna cause some trouble.
That's it. It's all about the snoo. You know what I always loved about this cover for the that we use, the main cover here. Everybody's like, wow, that's so hot. You got the lady here, but they never ask why all the women have the weapons in the background. You know what I mean? It's like a smile on a dog. What do you see first when you look at the cover? Are you just looking at the ladies like Randy Gunn? That's him here, designed by Graham Nolan, the got blonde hair guy. Then we got Manny Mendez. All right, so he's more of a thinker.
Yeah.
For me, covers as much as I can, honestly.
AVS, can you rate my pitch from 1 to 10?
What?
Can you rate my pitch from 1 to 10?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. He goes, what if Batman was a 1932 detective resurrected in modern-day Rusty Belt City that has attained otherworldly powers to stop criminals from his past with unique abilities, including the killer that murdered him and his long-dead family?
That's good.
Was that English?
It's called speed talk.
Welcome, Kanan, by the way.
What's going on, Kanan?
What's up, yo?
Damn.
He's looking good. He's handsome.
Looking sharp there, man.
Tired as a mug, man.
That table in the background. That's a sexy looking table.
It's not that he's got the goatee beard thing that I aspire to that. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do that.
This dog I can grow though. I can't grow a full beard.
That's got to be fun. Like if I had that, I would never stop playing with it. Like I've had a little bit of growth, and I'm always like playing with it now.
It only gets in the way when you're eating cereal.
Yeah, or
I got the same thing he does, except I just don't have the mustache.
Yeah.
Kenny's got that Asian beard, the Shaolin monks.
Oh yeah, man. Oh,
I may.
People are claiming they're not getting audio right now. Can you guys all hear? Can you guys hear me or see Kanan?
Yeah, I can definitely.
I
can see him in our hangout, but I can't see him on the video. No.
Well,
Kanan, you're not showing up for some reason.
Yeah, that's odd. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm locked on Critias. I don't think I'm locked on him anymore.
I think it froze on the chat on the YouTube.
Oh, okay. So the screen just froze on you. That happens. I don't understand why, but I watched it happen a lot yesterday. Okay, they're saying it's good. Sound is good now. All right, I'm gonna read some super chats, guys. Sorry about that in the chat. I appreciate that. Everyone responding, Dean. Okay. Publius Publicola says, easy for a middle-class guy to say he's for reparations. My family had governors and state Supreme Justices, was very prominent before Jim Crow, and became poor after. Just get over it and get rich. Yeah, but it's not just black people that would get reparations. It's also the Chinese slaves that built the railroads. And I would say anyone that actually had family, you could prove they had family that built something through slavery that the public uses. They deserve reparations from the government. You can't do it for like some private guy who owns slaves, but then what's going to happen is, because so many generations would be entitled to money from one single individual slave, the money would be diluted so much that it would be almost insulting. So it's a, here's $100 for slavery. It'd be pretty fucked up.
What me and my friends came up with was, if you can prove it, a free 100% paid U.S. college education at a public college. Room, board, food, everything.
Yeah.
The idea is to help people, not to, turn them into mind slaves.
Yeah. People are saying no. People are against reparations. Some people. But you have to think about it this way. It would be hard to prove. It'd be a mess. It'd be really tough. But I've been off point this entire stream, says Justin. Why? I've been eating my sinuses are stuffed with apple pie. Have mercy.
Hey, speaking, this is a little off subject, but I was watching the the Thinkery, or what's his dude? What's the dude's name?
Yeah, Sargon of Akkad. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got this hard on for this black dude in Britain that like talks about how the comedian what is it, the comedy with no borders, or I don't know what the hell, where they go and they're helping kids in Africa and stuff, and like that guy's like going in and having a bunch of white people holding black kids that are starving, and like that doesn't do any good, helping, and and I'm in a weird position with this because like he's thinking, well, it helps, and I'm like, well, it kind of helps, but if you were to maybe work more on helping them create infrastructure that will last, it's the whole teach a man to fish thing. I'm much more interested in that than just handing out money and food to people.
I like the education idea is good. That the education idea is pretty good. Here's the thing that people are like, why? Nobody here suffered through that. I don't think it's about that. The fact of the matter is that, like right now I'm working really hard and getting paid. And hopefully, ideally, my wealth could be passed down to Ava and then Ava's kids and then Ava's kids' kids, and they could build on my wealth because that's what it kind of is. You're supposed to have the opportunity to grow a family fortune. And theoretically, slaves, how many generations of slaves worked for free? And so, black people in this country and Chinese people, the slaves who built the railroads, and I understand how theoretical all this is, but worked for generations and generations, and none of them had the opportunity to pass on the wealth that they might have accumulated to next generations. So in the cases in which the government has benefited directly to the work done by slaves, I don't know, there's an argument to be made. I'm not saying it's a good idea to do.
There almost seems to be this this flip, which sounds great in the short term, which is like, okay, white people did all this terrible shit to us. Now let's do all this terrible shit to white people. Let's take all their money and their land and everything. And then it's like, well, what's going to happen like 300 years from then when a bunch of white people were slaves? Are we going to get reparations then? I mean, when does this fucking stop?
Well, I got it.
I think the people paying for it though, it's not just white people paying for it. That's the kicker there though. So you're going to have this setup where people that you're talking about that didn't benefit from that system, people now are the same people.
No. I'm saying most slave owners, had slaves working on their private property. It wasn't a government thing. But then again, like the railroads were built by slaves, for example. It's a very specific thing. We still use the railroads. We used the railroads. So those were built through slave labor.
Make railroad barons pay for that shit.
Yeah, the problem though is if we say government, that means all of us. I mean, really, when we cut through it, government means the same people that should be getting reparations. They're going to pay into that to get it. It's an insane idea, when you get down to it. It sounds good in theory, but when you get down to it, like I don't know, it's a very insane.
I don't disagree. I agree.
But it's complicated. But at the same point in time, you've seen the U.S. government give money to the survivors of Japanese internment camps, stuff like that. I remember when Bush was president, they did. The government. I just wish that. I was
like, Kanan silenced that shit like the Beyonder there. He was like Thanos in his own home.
I was like, there's an invasion. What's going on?
They know.
Yeah, I don't know. The entire chat's calling me a cuck. Look,
it's definitely complicated. There's not going to be a solution that I think everybody's going to be happy with.
The solution.
Well, how about you get rid of the IRS, and then every American will have a little bit more money to operate.
I would like to get rid of the IRS.
Maybe local government can handle the stuff that needs to be fixed, and people could get together and do things for each other locally.
I'm down with that. And then the local governments kick in for the national defense. to serve, you know,
Right.
for our military, and that's as far as it goes. I'm the same way. I'm a strict, you know, I'm more of a constitutionalist.
I mean, I want like you know, more what do you call them? The farmers markets and, you know, things like that, man. I really dig on that. I love local economy. I'd love it if like I could make this garden in my house and like I can primarily make tomatoes or whatever. And then there's another guy over here who's got chickens, and then I could trade, you know, tomatoes for, you know, and it's all right there. It's not coming from Guam on a boat for 6 months.
You want to live in a commune.
Well, see, that's what we do. We have 44 chickens. We have vegetables. But I have a large family that works that. That's very intensive labor.
Yeah.
I also have a robot. I have 3 robots doing it for me, and it's still intensive. Go to FarmBot, FARMBot.io, and I bought 3 of them.
I watched these guys.
Yes, Autobots working for him.
I watch these guys on YouTube, and I don't know where they're from. Probably the Philippines or something. But there's tons of these channels out there, which is like, you know, watch caveman build a swimming pool, you know, and it's just like these guys that go out into the woods, and without any bullshit or permits or any you know, sitting around dreaming about stuff. I mean, they just go out there with a stick, dig a big ass hole, and make like this amazing. I almost think they're trolling all these like tiny house people, you know, that are on YouTube. You know, look at this tiny house I made for $40,000. You know, and here's the guy that goes out into the jungle and is like, yeah, I got this for nothing. You know, just pile some rocks and, you know, done.
Yeah.
And I love that. They just go and do it, man. And it seems like the American way used to be just go and make shit happen. And now it's like, well, we got to have 10,000 permits and all this money, and we got to sit around and like think about it for a long time. And, you know, instead of just going and doing it.
Yeah.
That's a nice thought. If you want pie, you go make your pie and you eat your pie.
Somebody, I will, yeah, like I'll trade chickens for pies. You know, I like that. My dad was, you know, he joined a commune when my mom and dad split off. He was like a hippie. They had a big hole that they would like use for a toilet. I really, the hippies are the worst, and communes are really, I mean, I don't know.
I'm a bit hippie. I mean, I don't think I think last time I wore shoes was like 1985. So.
Really?
Yeah. Like I have like this is what was so confusing to me about when all this started, because I'm like, well, I agree with them, and then but I don't know, but I agree with them, you know.
Yeah. Everybody has a little bit of a point, you know. You just
they're saying in 6 years Trump is going to get rid of the Federal Reserve. At least that's what it looks like.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people should just move out into the country. People are afraid of it, you know, or just move farther out. But, you know, you have all these people who live in the cities talking about environmentalism, and the cities are polluted and they're terrible places, you know. Try to go out and buy an acre or two and, you know, grow something.
Pilgrim Driver says, we love you, Uncle Ethan, but you're going to overdose on pie. It's going to be a pie emergency. Lord Vulcan says, I had a free super chat from Google. That's nice. Albino Thunderbun says, Hallmark hand claps, evidence of toxic femininity. Yeah, that was Dean Cain. Some people were tweeting at Dean Cain abuse today. You know, it's pretty fun.
As they should.
Yeah. There's, I mean, you know, they need SJWs need somebody to swarm at all times, man. They gotta be attacking and destroying someone, or they don't know what to do.
Well, Dean's strong, man. He's really good at it, like giving it back to him. So, like, he's a great person.
I don't think he's ever been swarmed like this before. This is pretty substantial. He said he wanted to punch the egg kid, and that's why they're like, "Oh, you want to punch a child? Do you, Superman?" Okay, Superman. It's pretty funny. I got to get him on this show.
These folks have been wanting to take him down so long, man. I remember Gail Simone really going after him because somebody was spreading around this idea that he hates homosexuals. And of course, it all boiled down to him voting the wrong way. But they were acting like he had said something when he said all He said exactly the opposite. He said, I don't care exactly what you do. I don't care if you marry or what have you. That's not my business. And these people, though, you voted the wrong way, so we got to burn your life now.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you say, man. You might as well lean into it.
You know, my father, when he was 14, he was working. He was already, providing for himself. And I think when he was 15, he got his own apartment and out in the 70s. 17-year-old today is just man enough. He's a man. He deserves a punch.
Yeah. Look at this. Burton's like, eat that pie, fatty. This is why I don't look at the chat. Burton, I'm very thin-skinned when my entire body is full of pie, but I'm still going to show your comment. There you go. Okay. All right, so let's see. Mark C says, how old was the kid with the MAGA hat they wanted to string up? 16, a year younger. I mean, the hypocrisy is unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Snark the Con DM says, Nasser equals stunning and brave. Snark the Con DM says, 40 Superman slapped Japanese soldiers like it was going out of style, yet belting a 17-year-old is awful. Yeah, they forget about that. Superman pulling Japanese stereotypes out of airplanes and slapping a Jap. It would just say slap a Jap. Superman slaps a Jap right in the cover of a comic.
I did a video on that a while ago.
Yeah. Look, things were wartime. Things were different.
Yeah, it's funny now. I mean, can we just go like, those idiots? That's funny, and then move on. It's like, you're not going to do that now.
The comics have always been political. Comics have always been political.
Hey, yes.
I feel like comics have always been racist. I mean, just look, comics have always been racist.
Everybody's a little racist. Everyone's a little racist. Come on.
Hey, yes. I dated Renfremus says Ethan Renfremus weigh the same now.
Oh my gosh, that's depressing, but probably true. Comic Connoisseur says, eating a piece of pie myself, you're not going it alone, brother. And I believe you are eating your pie. You are true to your fans. P.S. I would have knocked the kid on his ass. I would never stop hitting that kid. I would be so outraged by not getting hit in the head with an egg, but just the audacity, the balls, the lack of personal boundaries. So many things that would make me absolutely furious about that were I that politician. Like, you little SJW pussy, you dare put your hands on me? Yeah, that's what I would have thought, and I would have been like, I'm going to teach you something your dad should have taught you, which is what he did.
Slap a soy boy face on him.
Yeah. I probably would take it that far, but I mean, I would be really, really angry, and my first instinct or my feeling would be I want to knock that kid out. So I understand what Dean Cain's saying, and people are being inhuman because they agree with the kid's politics, not because what they think the kid actually did was right. Or if they would, or not because they would deal with that if it were to happen to them personally, they would feel the same way. Again, 17-year-old skinhead alt-righter comes up and smashes an egg in your hippie face. It's just an egg. It's just an egg. Why do you want to beat up the little 17-year-old alt-right child?
Hey, let's think about the egg here. I mean, the egg being the real victim.
What if it was fertilized? Yeah, I agree.
I thought they were against abortion.
Yeah. Rhino4563 says Dean Cain played Division 1 college football at Princeton. He played safety. He could knock someone out. Nobody doubts Dean Cain could knock someone out. He's fit. Publius Publicola says Quran 9:5. Then, when the sacred months have passed, slay the idolaters wherever you find them, and take them captive, and besiege them, and prepare them each for ambush. That sounds nice. Publius Publicola says, but if they repent and establish worship and pay the poor due, then leave their way free. Lo, Allah is forgiving, merciful. They kill infidels on almost a daily basis in their countries.
What's idolatry and then like getting down with another man's wife?
No, is that idolatry?
No, idolatry is idol worship.
Yeah.
I love that. Idolatry and adultery. Hilarious.
Idolatry. So but everybody in America is idolatrous.
Yeah.
I mean, you worship your freaking tennis shoes or your Saturday night TV show or
your money.
Yeah. This whole world is designed to worship something other than God.
Yeah.
Unless you're Muslim, of course.
Yeah. Ned Brightweiser says last chance to buy Ravage on Indiegogo. It's cool. Last Chance by Ravage. Cyborg Patriot says Dumbledore was gay with Fantastic Beasts villain. Oh, so Dumbledore was the fat gay wizard, and he was all right. So he was in the new movie, being gay. Uncle Fred's School says I'll miss supporting Comicsgate this week on Twitter. I got 7 days off for calling Sarah Silverman a retard over the Smacks thing. Hail Caesar. What is that about? Tug's got it now.
You're just saying that they got a timeout because they called Sarah Silverman retarded. I mean, over all of this. So if you go out and you talk about, you talk about hurting Dean Cain, you're okay. But if you talk about, you say, oh man, that's retarded, Sarah Silverman. Oh nope, you're going out and you're literally attacking a protected class of persons.
Wow.
So
I didn't know what this person meant by smacks thing. They meant the kid getting smacked. Okay.
Yeah.
Asian Exeter says, can you say in your face incel in the snowflake voice? It was hilarious. Okay. In your face incel. There are a bunch of different snowflake voices that I use, but that's yeah. Will K says, thank you for opening CyberFrog again. Dallas Deadeye says Egg Boy got snitch slapped. Egg throwing is a snitch move. Ahan says, how come Heather has no boobs in the recent art you've shown on Indicron? She's flat chested. Are you going whamming on us? I don't think she's flat chested in that drawing. I just think that she's wearing a tank top and a jacket over it.
No, see, a lot of guys, this is what big deal of comics back in the day is like when they wear a shirt, like or anything, each breast has to be perfectly like encapsulated, So they're basically like nude. But like, I love the artists that can, and I've been working on this for a long time because I actually love this. Is when they're wearing those like tight shirts, and you can kind of just see a little bit of the mound, but it's mostly like what you got, this like nice smooth kind of chest plate almost. And it to me, I love the idea where you're kind of having to think about it. Like, well, is she stacked? Well, I mean, it kind of looks like she's stacked. I love the kind of, there's the what do you call it? Eroticism, man, is using your brain. If you want to have just kind of like hanging out there the way the CyberFrog was, which that's how things were in the 90s. It's just these perfectly
you outlined boobs, even through t-shirts,
boob socks.
Yeah. I mean, to me, Heather shows up later in the book, and she's wearing a tank top with no jacket, and the tank top's kind of wet and ripped up, and you see boobs. But and she's not flat chested at all. Yeah. But in that image, she's still young. She's 18. I don't think she's fully developed yet. She's a kid still.
Well, that realistically, I mean, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So unless you're going for non-realistic stuff, then.
Yeah,
that's what I do when I do it. I draw it like that too, even if they're well endowed. Still, I mean, just when they got clothes on, man, it looks different. It just bothers me when stuff is just like not accurate.
Stelfreeze used to harass me for drawing naked people, and I'm like, "What? What do you mean? I got clothes on?" And he's like, "No, man, they're like naked. You just got like a little fold thing right there, So since that point, I'm trying to like figure out clothes, how like the drape on the body, and and in fact that can make things like more interesting. It creates more interesting shapes, and I don't know, but there is something about drawing the naked human figure that is just something very primal for artists, man. I mean, it's just like the art in its purest form, and that's why you see so many things about like drawing nudes. There's nudes everywhere in like art community.
Kelsey, can I draw you like one of my French girls?
You mean nude? Come on, say it.
Yeah.
You want to draw me nude?
Yeah.
Say what you mean.
Say it out loud. You can draw me nude eating a piece of apple pie, man. That'll be.
Yeah. Hey, Gil Rivera says, congrats, Ethan. Ending at midnight EST, Eastern Standard Time, Night Stalker 1 and 2 on Indiegogo. Back us today. No Brie Larson in Night Stalker movies. Promise. Let's get to 100. Yeah, guys, go check out Night Stalker. Night is spelled Nite. That'll makes it a little bit more difficult, I think, when you misspell night for people to find it. But please go find Night Stalker on Indiegogo and support it. Lloyd Aloha says, watch that pie down using your SJW Tears mug, EVS. Oh, I didn't think of that. Laz Gargoyle says, EVS, so happy to see CyberFrog still lives. I sent you a DM Instagram of the first issue I've had for 22 years.
Well,
wow, 22 years. Laz Gargoyle says, I'm working on a comic in found footage style. I was wondering if any of you are willing to give advice on the roughs. Well, I mean,
comic. That's that's interesting.
Yeah. Like, I'm not sure that makes sense, but I
found a porn magazine out in the woods once when I was a kid. It's all ripped up, so I guess you could do a comic like that where you found it.
And what does he mean, like on the rough, like just how to do them, or what?
Probably means layouts. I'm guessing.
That's a pretty good idea right there. Yeah, like you find, because Kelsey, like we used to find in the 80s, people didn't have pornography. Kids just didn't have it.
You had to look into it.
You had to like borrow your friend's dad's porno, which was a problem. I remember this kid named Rich Henderson in my neighborhood. His dad had a whole box of Playboys in the attic, and we could go over there 4th or 5th grade, and we'd paw through his dad's Playboy collection in the attic. God knows what year they were from. This was probably 1984, and they were probably from 1978. And his dad would come home. We'd be playing. He'd be like, "Boy, have you been into my Playboy?" Southern accent and everything. That was so. It was anyway. It was very difficult. And what Kelsey's talking about is the rare phenomenon when you would actually find a porno mag, wet, soaking, in the woods. And you go, "What was going on in the woods? That somebody But that was a special treasure.
I got all kinds of porn stories, man. It's really funny, like, and then
I bet you do.
To see people like not try to talk about it, like it's is really hilarious too. Like when they find that something's missing from their porn collection, and then they'll like, so you've been rummaging around in my room, like, no, what do you mean? Well, I'm missing some stuff, like what? What are you missing? I found my grandpa's porn collection. It was like in this shed. He had like a tool shed, and then like this other shed that looked like it'd been run down for ages, but of course, stashed under some seats is like all these old like Penthouse and like Playboy and that's where I discovered like comics from an early age too, is because a lot of those had comics and comic strips in them. So, they're kind of, it's all linked, porn and comics.
Yeah, it is in so many ways, isn't it?
And then you got my uncle who lived in like a really nice neighborhood, and I sat down I went to use his bathroom because someone was in the other bathroom in the house. And I sat down and it was weird because like in their bedroom, and it's like, oh, my uncle and my aunt. And then I'm sitting on the toilet and I like start looking through the drawers, and the bottom drawer, there's literally like a stack of Playboys, and they were all nice. And like, every other porn I'd seen had been ripped open and like, old, and it's got mildew all over it. And his his was like a collection, like I'm gonna sell these later.
That's a bonus. Yeah. I a lot of Playboy stories growing up. Like if you could just get your hands on one. The drugstore that I got my early comics from, called Blankenbush Drugs in Merchantville, New Jersey, and they had a comic rack like right by the door. And then if you walk towards the register, they had like Playboy magazine, like sitting right there. And then the guy who ran the counter, it was a small operation, was always in the back getting high. So,
did you steal one?
No, I never stole. Well, I shoplifted a few comics. I never stole. I never had the balls, because where would I put it? Where would I put a Playboy? I'm talking, I was like in 2nd grade. Oh. Where would I put a Playboy? I'd get caught with that. My life would be over. But I would flip through it. I would kneel down and just like flip through it. And then one time the guy came out and said, "Hey, those aren't for you."
I'm 18.
I ran out that store, man. I ran home. I remember running as fast as I could.
Did you try not to eyeball the guy like later every time you'd come in and he'd be like, "There's the kid that was like looking at porn."
It never
He
bothered me.
didn't remember. He was high.
Yeah, like it never bothered me. I went right back and kept buying comics there and Bazooka Joe bubblegum.
Oh man,
yeah. So
I remember Bazooka Joe.
yeah, Bazooka Joe was 5 cents. So if you had $1, you could get a 60-cent comic. You could probably get a candy bar and then a couple of Bazooka Joes.
Remember Chico Sticks? I miss Chico Sticks.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, everything's different now.
Mhm.
Not as good. So this is a world where kids feel entitled to smash eggs on adults' heads. Now, if those kids were forced to degrade themselves and read moldy, mildewy porn that they found in the woods, if they were lucky, do you think those same kids would be smashing eggs on adults' heads?
Oh no.
Mhm.
Everyone gets everything they want. I mean, when you have access to the most disgusting porn at your fingertips like that for free, a sense of entitlement comes along with that. It certainly has to.
I remember when things had changed. You know, when I remember having seen the internet.
You tried to connect that, Ethan.
What?
So I love how you tried to connect all that.
I think it's true. Make it all work. Make it all mean something. Yeah.
Well, like I remember having seeing the internet for the first time. I was working at Sam's, and some guy's like, you want to see have you seen the internet? And I was like, what? I don't know what that is. And it was just a list of, toilet cams and things like that. Again, back to the porn. It was like all porn, but like you had to just look through it all. And then years later, I was working on Jimmy Neutron, and they had an intranet, and where it was just localized to just the company. And I was working late at night, and I started looking through all their private, the stuff that's on their computer that they, I guess, shared through the intranet. And there was like some of the filthiest shit you ever saw. I mean, like the puking Asian broads was in there. I'm sure.
Oh.
And not only porn, but like, that stuff that I only heard about from the Faces of Death videos that I never.
Oh God!
And it was all right there. Everything that I've seen, 80% of the things I've seen that I can't unsee from the internet were from working at Jimmy Neutron. And
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm still traumatized to this day. Like it's, it's harder now because like they have to really try to like sneak up on you now. But and back then it was easier. Like, oh, let's see what this file is. Oh my God,
Yeah. Yeah, you had to open a file. It would have a weird name, and then you would open it, and it would be like, something awful that you didn't want to see. Like, oh, what is this? Lemon Party. Anna Folkenstall said, want to write a novel? Want to write a novel. What do you think about adding comic-like illustrations, storyboards to spice it up? Would that make people buy this? Yeah, I think so. I think illustrations are always helpful. Always. Nunya Buznez says that kid was taught by his parents to be that way. Probably. Wade Wilson says, my SJW brother thinks you're evil. Can you say, Dennis, shut up and grow up? There you go. His name's Dennis Wilson.
Well, Mr. Wilson.
Your brother's name is
grow up.
Yeah. I'm not evil. Well, maybe I am. I don't know. Ahan says, sorry, but I do like digital comics. Will you be making CyberFrog available on Comixology ever? Yeah, I think so. Look, I want to sell CyberFrog as many times as I possibly can to as many people as I can. So eventually it'll trickle down to digital, but not until I've sold all the physical that I can. I just think that makes more sense. Once you put it on digital, just expect it to get pirated and stolen.
It's like a movie, right? It kind of everybody goes to see it, and then once you make all the money, you put it into DVD.
Yeah,
I'm not sure like how what the deal is, but like I go to a lot of those pirate sites, man, that have comics and everything, and they have everything I've ever done, even the stuff that like you wouldn't think. It sold like 10 copies, It's out there. You can just get it for free, and it's just like DVDs and stuff. It's like how do they get this stuff? I don't. It's remarkable.
And then when they have it's literally updated to what came out last week, you're like, dang, it just came out and you got a digital file already. So
yeah.
Well, look, I'm poor, so I do take advantage of it, while it's available, because I've been checking out all this old stuff, old Jack Kirby and things that I never really got into, and I've exposed to just so much great stuff. I did that. Started that years ago because comics have really sucked for a while. But
yeah,
what is that? I'm at a party.
Yeah. People are in the chat saying that I support reparations still. I don't think I support reparations. I said I just understand. I don't, guys, don't get nutty. I'm not a liberal. Well-read user said, "Did the pie you ate have a name?" Back me up, Antonio.
I can unpack that all day long because I've had this conversation. I'm not afraid. I don't run from it because the reality is now I wish they had done this when they actually freed the slaves, when they were talking about actually taking, they let all those people, they freed them, and then they just was like, all right, you're on your own, instead of actually following through with what they had originally said, and and allotting 40 acres of land and giving them a mule to actually work with. And then so you kind of perpetually over the generations kept going. Now some people are able to swim and some sank. But it, like I said, it's so far gone now that there's not going to be an easy solution. Where
what about this? What if that saying of a fool and his money should be parted? I mean, what if you can get it off of them? Then more power to you. But for the guys that you ain't gonna get through. You're on your own.
Like I said, I don't know a clear solution. Some people are like, maybe you should allot college scholarships or this or that. But the main thing, and this is what you see as far on Black Twitter, because you see all these Democrats coming out, and they're afraid because a lot of Black people was like, you guys aren't talking to us. We'll gladly stay home. And Trump actually got about 17-18% of the Black vote, and that scared them. So they were like, whoa, so they're not voting Democrat, and some of them came out and voted for Trump. That that they are specifically saying, if you are going to do something, if you're a Democrat and you want Black votes, do not offer something for quote unquote minorities. Say specifically for Black folks, because they are when they tend to lump Black people into minorities, or they say, oh, affirmative action affects Black people. It affects all minorities. Where when you look at the studies, you see a lot of women get that, that aren't Black. They get lumped into affirmative action and stuff because they're a woman. If you're a Black woman, that's a double. But I mean, it's that kind of thing. So you see a lot of people in Black media going, if you're not going to do something specifically for Black people, don't expect Black people to come out and vote for you, Kamala Harris and all these other Democrats that are like, oh yeah, Bernie Sanders, they asked him the other day and he kind of shuffled on it. So if you're not going to specifically address Black voters, don't expect Black voters to come out.
But women are a minority too. Women are just like Black people.
But see, that's the thing. Black people don't want to be just called minority. They're just like, we're Black people. If you're doing something specifically for Black people, say it's for Black people.
But to their credit, yes, women are a minority. However,
no, they're not though.
What I'm saying, but there's a distinct difference between a white woman and a Black woman and how they're treated.
Yeah,
and that's just. But the thing is, man, there's so much damage that's been done that simply, just do this is not enough. oh yeah, just fix that. No.
Well, can I go ahead?
No, I was saying it's easy to say, yeah, you can just do that, but I mean, you're talking about years and years and years, and the fact that even to this day, there's still that type of inequality. There's still that fear. There's still that aggression toward people of color, especially men. And I'm raising a black boy in America, and I gotta prep him for certain things, and that's sad that I have to do that. But that's the reality of it.
It's true.
And so, I mean, that to simply say, hey, it'd be easy. It's always in nature to just say, well, let's just fix it. Well, yeah, we can, but there's a lot of stuff that has to be dealt with, and to do that, you got to unpack the history, and the history is ugly, and not everybody wants to deal with it. So, what do? We generalize. Well, we're all dealing with it. No, we're not.
Yeah.
We're nearly not all dealing with it. Oh, well, this and just, it's like, like when people were talking about how the Black Lives Matter thing was a hate movement. It's like, no, we know that everybody matters, but at this moment, they were trying to remind people that, like, this is what's going on. Right. And that's the thing. It's been going on. It's just made public now. And honestly, it only started becoming public when you had, and which is awesome, you had, white individuals actually stand up and help. And all of a sudden, it's almost like the freedom riders. It didn't become a problem until they started getting beat up too.
I'll tell you, in like 1989, maybe it was 89, 88, I ran away for a long time, and it was cold. I was in DC. I was in an alley with my friends, and we were all curled up under a vent. And these officers came and started kicking us, broke my ribs. And I popped up, and I said, I was upset. I was only like maybe 14. I was up, crying a little bit. And I was like, I'm going to tell my father. What are you doing? Who are you? And my other friends, my we were all different races. We were all young punks, and they're like, yeah, happens all the time. So I actually went and told my father of all my family, and nobody believed me. They thought I was lying about the police.
All right. We're starting to sound like a bunch of SJWs. Stop.
Hey, then I'm gonna bounce. I'm not one.
Tug, thanks for being here.
I'll see y'all later. Thanks for inviting me.
All right, Zoivod says,
I'm gonna head out too.
Okay, Zoivod says tired as a mug. Antonio, you a fan of Chip Chipperson? LMFAO. What's Chip Chipperson?
I don't even know who that is.
Well-read user says, will Irish people get reparations for being slaves? No, they get nothing but the pot of gold at the other side of the rainbow. I see. But chat says, I'm working on a Charlie Chaplin comic of his early life in London. It's got some interest. Any advice you guys can give would be much appreciated. Yes, sell the movie rights. Andrew says, open a history book. Everybody's owed reparations. I got it, guys. I'm not saying literally give reparations to people. I'm saying I get the argument.
I don't think that'll work. I don't think that'll work.
That's the thing, man. We can talk about it, man. But honestly, that's why I don't get into politics and all that stuff. I got strong views. But at the end of the day, man, I'm an artist and I'm creating for everybody. So that's my focus. I don't let that stuff spill into what I do. And I think when you start doing that, man, then that's when you start cutting people out.
People get mad. Yeah. I completely understand.
But what do you guys? I don't want to expand on this more, Ethan. But for two black guys, what do you guys hear when you hear?
I didn't know Doug was here.
Hey, bro. When you hear white people, because I hear this all the time, when you hear white people like me say, it's terrible what happened to you, but when people call out white people, that's being racist too.
All right, come on with the.
I just don't get to talk to black people very much, Ethan. Come on, I get an opportunity on your show to hear their perspective.
Yeah, but it's like all right.
Okay.
I think he thinks it's not fun.
Where's the pie?
I ate it all.
No, we need the pie.
I literally ate it all.
Can they give a one sentence answer, Ethan? Like just to placate me. Look at him. He's stewing.
Say bite it, honky.
No. I mean it's because I'm not trying to go into because I mean, yeah, white people, man, that actually when they they stood up for black people, and in many ways they got treated worse because they were considered race traitors and all that stuff. I just, man, it's when people kind of say, I mean, it's to me it's a byproduct of it's almost like cause and effect, man. And you keep beating the dog, after a while it's going to turn on you. And so I mean, I don't know, it's I sometimes feel some kind of way, but I understand because a lot of times it's not. I'm reminded of who I am every time I look in the mirror, and that's
hell yeah, brother. Oh, you mean that in a bad way?
No, I mean in a good way, and to me, I'm proud of who I am, but at the same time, it's it's something, man. Like you just have to. You have to remember why you're doing what you're doing, and for me, I know personally, my faith has helped just kind of absorb a lot of that. Because like I said, I have no animosity, man, toward white people.
I appreciate that.
When there could be valid reasons to have that, but
I do.
But I mean, just being real, man. I mean, I consider y'all brothers, and it's not blowing smoke, man. I mean, y'all have helped. I've gleaned, like just from Ethan, from Doug, from all of you guys. I've gleaned so much, so I have no issues, man. I mean, I don't let that stuff be my my map on how I deal with everything.
We're fans of you, every part of you, all you guys make up. We're fans of you. I wouldn't change anything about you.
And then we were collecting. To me, man, that's what unifies us is the art, our craft, our passion.
Yeah.
And I mean, it has nothing to do with our our nationality, man. That's becomes a subplot.
That's right.
In the bigger story.
That's right.
So as long as we keep that on the focus, man. I mean, that's what's important. Just like music unifies. Music, art, they're the two biggest things, man, that squash all that division. It's like being in the military, man. When you have to protect the guy next to you, you don't care about what race they are. It's like, man, I got to back you up. So, I mean, that's how I feel, man.
Somebody needs to get you a TV show. That's awesome. That's never heard it put that way. Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Everyone's telling me, Ethan, get control of this, please. It's like
is it out of control? Because it's a lot of truth being spoken, unfortunately.
Yeah, but
people don't want to hear it.
No, well, it's not that people don't want to hear it. It's that people don't want to hear it on a Comicsgate show because it's like supposed to be not about this kind of thing. It's supposed to be about comics, and these kind of social justice issues are,
bad for ratings.
That's the thing. I'm not even into the social justice thing. This is just, it's just a couple of facts, man. But other than that, man, like I said, I don't propagandize that stuff. I'm not preaching that stuff. Because that's not what it's about. We are about making comics. Hands down, number one priority. Like I said, Ethan, man, that's my number one thing from jump, man. It ain't got nothing to do with my political side or whatever. I'm here to create cool stories and let people see something, inspire people, regardless of what age and race and creed and all that stuff. So, I just, you asked the question, man. I don't usually talk much. So,
no, you're awesome. You're awesome. That's awesome. Sorry,
people want to know why Doug hates British people.
Well, yeah, I did say the other day that I was okay with eating them. They're the only ones I hate, and I was okay with eating them. Mostly their cuisine bugs me. That they would subject themselves to a throne. That they tried to that they went to war with America. That they tried to not let us be independent.
Wow.
They burned the White House down, right? Come on.
That is true. They did all of those things. By the way, Fabio's birthday. Apparently, I missed it according to the chat. Sorry about that, Fabio.
No, that is an important thing.
60 years old, Ethan. 60.
60 years old. He did.
You don't play the Fabio music anymore. What happened to that?
I don't know. Like, ever since I got my computer, I moved on from it. Like, it was easy to do on the iPad. I mean, I guess I could do it, but it was part of the old way of doing a show.
Hey, VS, have you checked your campaign? Have you checked the update on it?
No. Let me see. CYBERFROG blood, honey. Is that $81,000. $81,041. Thank you so much, everyone.
We're going to keep those numbers going up. Ethan, when is the next pie-oriented stretch going?
Never again.
Two whole pies for what?
I'm falling asleep from eating that entire pie.
What if you hit 200?
No,
you'd eat 2 pies.
Well, I wouldn't eat any more
how about
pies.
Every 80 we add a pie.
Everybody in the panel.
162.
Doug, I won't eat another pie at any price. I'm done. I
don't believe you. I could pay you 160 grand. You'd eat 2 pies.
I guess.
Yeah,
at 100.
Yeah. So can we solidify that?
No.
How about at 100? Everybody in the panel eats one.
No.
I don't want to eat any more pies.
I'm okay with eating a pie.
Yeah. No, Ethan, 2 pies, and then when we get to 3, it's going to get really fun.
No, it's not fun. I can't.
I think it's going to throw up on camera.
Yeah, I know. That's what I want. You have to eat them, even if you throw up. You have to eat. You have to consume 2 pies at 160.
No.
What if it's 160 by Friday? Huh?
Don't agree.
Put a time on it. If 160 by Friday, because you know you're not going to hit it. So let's make sure you hit it, and then you're really going to pay the price. You will do 2 pies, whatever it takes, on camera.
Oh
man, dude.
Bro, we'll get there. 160.
Yeah. Okay. Loki 07 says every group has eaten a shit sandwich in this country. Are we going to pay everyone and the Fed? Grand Inquisitor says set the example. EVS, give Antonio all your CyberFrog money. Time Code Mechanic says, did I miss the pie eating? Yes, you did, Nathan. Carver says, you're awesome and you'll always be awesome. Thank you. Unknown 1007 says, look up Arnold Schwarzenegger getting hot with egg. Triggered Snowflake says, you should hit that kid because you started this gangster shit. AN says, Ethan is protective of Heather like a daughter and won't draw sexy Heather with real boobs and share with his fans. LOL. I don't think that's true. Zaid Comics says, got some pages of Magic Cop colored. Stoked to have it on IndieCron next month. It's flashy 80s detective comic fantasy. Think Miami Vice meets Halloween Town. Hot beach babes and even hotter crime. Eggert Snark says, reparations equals free stuff. Welfare, victim mentality. Easy solution equals study hard, get a job, and work hard. Robert F. Smith, don't need no reparations. Who's Robert F. Smith from The Cure? Like, who's that guy?
Hey, these guys said reparations probably aren't the answer. Just on the record. I don't know. No one's fighting for reparations.
Doug, you should fight for reparations on their behalf as a white man who realizes the wrong.
If I thought it was help or if I thought it would work, I'd be for it. I don't think it's going to work, but I think there is a problem. It just, I don't think that's the solve.
Yeah. Zirank says, as a black man, how am I supposed to think that being taught the history and made to think most are going to look at me differently is going to be beneficial? Zirank says, the shoulder chip gets passed on and it bothers me to no end because that chip is an anchor.
Mm-hmm.
DD says, this stream turned very roasty. Go, I know. I didn't mean it to get like really social, even though I thought everything that got said is pretty good. It's just, we're supposed to be kind of glib and dumb in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about at 160K, I'll bake you a Granny Smith pie.
Well, that's kind of you. Why is everybody wanting me to eat pies?
Because Ethan, I want you to make money. I want you to hit 160 by
has
Friday.
Nothing to do with anything, though. If I eat pies, like I'll get fatter and fatter. I don't want to get any fatter. It's ridiculous.
I know the fans. The fans want to see you eat 2 pies. The fans want to see you eat 2 pies on Friday.
This is very passive aggressive of you.
It is.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Do you see what I'm doing?
Yeah, I see it.
But you'll admit it works. It will work.
No. Snarkticon DM says this chat is like an episode of an 80s sitcom. Tonight on a very special episode of Comicsgate. Yeah, that's what it is. It's Doug in a room full of black guys going, can we rap? Can we just sit down and rap together?
Tell me what it's like to be a black guy, guys.
Yeah. What is it like?
I don't know what it's like.
Snarkticon DM says Doug is Brutus. He's trying to kill Caesar. Yeah, he is with pies. Orbital 1970 Goat says if CyberFrog hits 1 million, Ethan gets to throw a pie at Doug.
Yeah. I would go for that. I would go for that. He can do it overhanded and 1 foot away. I want to kill you with $160,000 on Friday. is how I want to kill you.
I don't think it's gonna work though. You know, I don't want to eat another pie. Like seriously, I'm falling asleep from that pie. Yeah. Anthony Sumney says the fans want to make you rich and fat, Ethan. No, please. I mean, yes, the rich, but not the fat.
What a great stunt, man, to watch you just choke down a pie and then throw up, and you have to keep eating pie.
Well, remember back in the biblical days, right? Anybody who was fat usually meant they were rich and successful.
Yeah, it would just be real ugly, like a car wreck stream, like a bad Jackass episode. It would just be legendary. You'd go like, why did I agree to do this? Why?
Lucas King said more pies, more EVS to love. No, not really. No. Star Wars Tragedy calls me a lard ass. But this is the problem. You know, this again. Yeah, I don't know why you're all feeders all of a sudden.
Yeah.
My subs became feeders, and Doug is enabling everybody.
Keep your truth to yourself, guys. Keep your truth to yourself.
Yeah, that's your truth. It's not my truth. I'm gonna go. We've been streaming for too long. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for watching me eat an entire pie. I feel like I'm gonna be sick. It snuck up on me, but now my stomach is like, you shouldn't have done that.
Wait, what if at 100 and whatever, you know, you buy white, by Kwanzaa, you set it on fire on your lawn.
I would do that. That's awful. It's awful.
What was that?
He wants me to lynch a comic book.
Oh.
I don't want to lynch a comic book. Eggert Snark says Robert F. Smith made $3 billion selling Marketo to Adobe. Oh, lucky guy. Valdez D. Frank says eat a double burrito with extra guacamole. Now I'm gonna get sick. All right, guys. Have a wonderful Sunday. I'm gonna go take a nap. But my love to you all. I don't feel well. That pie was like, ugh.
Well, you did a good job. You did what you said you were going to do.
You kept your word.
I did what I said I was going to do. I like Doug dyeing his hair pink.
You'll recover a lot faster than my hair did, than my pride did. I'll tell you that much.
All right, guys. Love you all. See you again soon. Bye.
Love. Oh.